mattress is made in Wisconsin and built to last.
Plus,
oh boy,
our mattresses help you remember every password, every song lyric, and every birthday of everyone you know, including your dentist.
Look, we can't prove any of that, but Penny Mustard's breathable, double-sided mattresses have been proven to last 45% longer than the average unflippable model.
But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
Your new Penny Mustard mattress removes wrinkles and reduces small talk with strangers by 73%.
Please stop.
Why?
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Okay, fine. Results may vary.
Come see our selection of sophisticrafted, double-sided hybrid mattresses at Penny Mustard.
PennyMustard.com.
Flippable versions of what people want.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy. Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, June 15th. Your top story, shutting down a controversial breeding facility.
I'm Jessica Ty. A ceasefire agreement reached with Iran.
Mostly sunny today, very pleasant conditions. High 77 degrees inland, partly cloudy tonight, at a low of 58. It's 74 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the remaining beagles at Ridglan Farms are being released as the controversial Dane County Breeding and Research Facility prepares to shut down. Big Dog Ranch Rescue founder and CEO Lori Simmons says they've reached an agreement to take out all 475 dogs from the facility.
This marks a historic victory for the dogs of Ridglan Farms.
More than 300 will be transferred immediately, with the remaining dogs expected to leave sometime in August. Ridglan Farms says it will permanently end its breeding and research operations after the transfers are complete. We'll hear more from Simmons coming up at 2:15.
A Dodge County Sheriff's deputy is recovering and a man is dead after a large tactical response last night.
Investigators say a suspect opened fire on responding officers at the River Run Dog Park in the town of Elba. The deputy suffered serious injuries and was taken to UW Hospital in Madison. Authorities later found the suspect dead inside of a vehicle from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The sheriff's office says no officers fired their weapons during the incident. There's no ongoing threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And the trial is underway for a woman accused of causing the crash that killed two Marquette University lacrosse players.
Prosecutors allege 42-year-old Amandria Brunner was driving drunk when her pickup truck crashed into a Jeep carrying members of the Marquette men's lacrosse team near 27th and St. Paul in September of 2025. Scott Michaud and Noah Snyder were killed in the collision, while three others in the Jeep also suffered injuries. Brunner has remained in custody since the crash and faces 2 counts of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. If convicted, she could spend decades in prison. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
President Trump is in France right now for the G7 World Leaders Summit, and it's fresh off his announcement that the U.S. and Iran have reached a ceasefire agreement. ABC's Karen Travers reports from Geneva.
According to a senior administration official, this initial agreement leads to the dismantling of the Iranian nuclear program, leads to the United States destroying and removing enriched uranium from Iran, calls for inspections to ensure a long-term commitment and that it's long-term enforceable, and Iran gets rewarded economically only if they meet the obligations under the deal. Iran has been demanding the release of its frozen assets and the lifting of sanctions.
The memorandum of understanding between the two countries also leads to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The deal is expected to be formally signed in Geneva on Friday.
And the parasitic New World screwworm has been kept at bay for nearly 4 decades in the United States, but it's once again raising concerns. News Nation's Xavier Walton.
Last week, Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins, she's visited Texas for the second time. This is essentially ground zero for the New World screwworm outbreak. She held a rancher roundtable, also did a sterile fly dispersal. Now, for those that don't know, the idea is to release sterile male flies. They mate with the females but don't reproduce, and these flies only mate once in their lifetime. They're using that, the USDA, to fight against this potential outbreak.
In addition to Texas, other states on alert include here in Wisconsin. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Indices are soaring this afternoon at the Dow, up nearly 700 points at 51,876. Good day for the NASDAQ, up 750 points at 26,634. And the S&P is up to 7566. That's 135 points in the green. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Calling Cooper. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Sponsored by Blingo Premier Lighting.
You take pride in your Milwaukee area home. So why let it disappear when the sun goes down? At Blingo Premier Lighting, they create breathtaking landscape lighting that transforms your home into the showpiece of the neighborhood. Elegant uplighting, softly illuminated walkways, architectural lighting that highlights the beauty you've already invested in. Landscape lighting doesn't just make your home look incredible. It adds curb appeal, increases perceived value, improves safety, and creates an experience you enjoy every single night. In fact, it's the one thing homeowners never realize they want until they have it. And once they do, they can't imagine living without it. From luxury landscape lighting to permanent holiday lighting and patio lighting, Blingo designs custom systems built specifically for your home. No hassle, no stress, just a home that looks absolutely stunning after dark. See us at blingo.com/MKE. Blingo Premier Lighting. Your home will never look this beautiful. That's blingo.com/MKE.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers take 2 of 3 against the Phillies, earning a 4-0 win Sunday over Cy Young Award candidate Christopher Sanchez.
I'm happy for the guys to be in a battle like this against the team built for the World Series and that type pitching, and that's what this whole thing's about, is to try to be in these environments as much as you can and keep your poise and win a couple of them.
Brewers are expected to call up shortstop prospect Cooper Pratt, the number 4 rated prospect in the Brewers organization. Pratt is expected to make his major league debut Tuesday night against the Guardians. Rookies and younger members of the Packers roster take center stage for the final block of organized team activities. Matt LaFleur excusing many of the veteran players until training camp July 29th. And with the NBA season over, the focus turns to next week's draft. NBA insider for ESPN, Brian Windhorst, believes there are 2 teams in best position to acquire Giannis from the Bucks.
The Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Windhorst is also not ruling out Giannis returning to the Bucks for the final year of his contract.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Not too bad in most spots, but we do have one issue in Milwaukee County that I want to let you know about, and it is causing a bit of a delay. The exit to 145 from 4145 South is closed right now because of a crash. I just pulled up the cameras for you here, and as I was doing so, I watched as an ambulance started to leave. Hopefully the injuries are not serious in this one, but the ambulance did just leave. I see there's also a fire truck out there. The vantage point from this one, it's pretty far away as well, as this is the exit where this happened, but it looks like far off in the distance, looks like there's a tow truck out there as well. So heads up, this is causing a backup. It is a crash on the exit to 145 from 4145 South. Closed right now in Milwaukee County because of a crash.
Mostly sunny today, high 77 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 58. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, chance of rain in the evening hours, a high of 73. Showers and storms are likely on Wednesday with a high of just 71. We stick in the low 70s on Thursday under partly cloudy skies. The sun returns on Friday with a high of 72. 74, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Off and running on a Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Jessica back from a long weekend. Great to have you back. Sunny weather. We've got a good thing going here as we hit Summerfest week here.
Yes, it's one of my favorite. It's not even just a week. I mean, now it's 3 weekends,
right.
and it's one of my favorite times of the year here in Milwaukee.
We will be there Thursday and Friday of this week, getting you set for weekend number 1 of the big gig.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Breaking news today, Ridglan Farms is releasing its remaining beagles. The controversial breeding and research facility in Dane County has come to an agreement with Big Dog Ranch Rescue out of Florida. It's selling another 325 dogs to the group and donating the rest. Ridglan is transferring the first batch of beagles over a 2-day period starting today. The final 150 are coming out before the end of August. We just talked with the president and founder of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, Lori Simmons, back here in Wisconsin now. In fact, today she is moving beagles from Ridglan to the staging area. And she told us today means everything.
We made you a promise that we would not stop until every single beagle was out safe and sound. We would not leave one dog behind. So today we're honoring that promise to you. And it marks a historic victory for all the dogs of Ridglan Farms. Secured the binding agreement that Ridglan Farms will close for good. No more suffering, no more testing on dogs, no more breeding. And for that, we are thankful and elated.
Now that Ridglan Farms has finalized plans to transfer the rest of the dogs, it is asking the public to refrain from further protests. Ridglan calls it a years-long harassment campaign. The company says it's also hoping Wisconsin's legal system holds people accountable, the people who broke in and took dogs from the facility in March. Coming up at 2:15, hear our entire interview with Simmons and find out why that final batch can't come out this week.
Well, number 2, the UK banning social media for children under the age of 16. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer officially announcing a sweeping ban on social media dubbed an Australia Plus model. It's one of the world's most aggressive crackdowns on big tech to date.
The innovation is incredible in AI and what is going on. Don't tell me that it's impossible for those innovators, those people who are brilliant at technology, to devise the ways to protect our children, and I think we should.
Major applications like TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all the big dogs here, X, formerly known as Twitter, Threads, Reddit, Twitch, Kick, you name it, all in scope here. YouTube Kids, however, is exempt. So the UK is going a couple of steps further than Australia. This model actually blocks strangers from contacting minors on gaming sites. They also impose social media curfews and mandatory breaks from infinite scrolling for those under the age of 18. Regulation is expected to pass by the end of 2026 and take full effect by spring of 2027.
Well, parents, take note on this one. A dangerous trend born on TikTok around 2020 may have subsided, but it never completely went away. Now it's landing kids in the emergency room, and in some cases, even worse.
The first challenges were harmless, even positive. The Ice Bucket Challenge raised millions for research into ALS. But the Benadryl Challenge?
This one is boggling my mind.
ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says intentionally overdosing on the allergy medication can have serious consequences.
Such as arrhythmias with your heart, confusion, seizures, coma. We've already seen a couple deaths associated with this challenge.
Since the beginning of May, 3 children in Connecticut have died after intentionally taking large quantities of Benadryl. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
12:13 on WTMJ. Coming up next, the MMSD facing scrutiny due to some alarming allegations. We'll go through it with Tim Sheehy of the MMAC after this.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
People hear Horicon Bank and they think local instantaneously.
Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization, and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million-dollar companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC. Nice day today. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 77. A little more cloud coverage downtown right now than sun, but you see some peaks. Partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Chance of rain in the evening on Tuesday. Otherwise, partly cloudy throughout the day, high 73. Showers and storms are likely on Wednesday with a high of 71. 74 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:15. And our economic spotlight is sponsored by Horicon Bank, together doing good. It's horiconbank.com. Truly the natural choice. Member FDIC. Always good to chat with MMAC Senior Advisor. It's Tim Sheehy on a Monday. Hi, Tim.
Hi, good to be with you.
Hey, thanks for joining us here. Wanted to dive into this story. It really made headlines last week, Tim. The Metropolitan Milwaukee Sewerage District facing some scrutiny here and some alarming allegations against the company contracted to operate the 2 wastewater treatment plants. So what are the accusations and who are they aimed at here?
Yeah, good question. And let's start with what MMSD does. First of all, the most important thing it does is take all of the waste and rainwater and then treat it before it goes in the lake. And Milwaukee spent about $1 billion to build what I would describe as a big bathtub. And when it fills up too fast, sometimes it does leak into, with less treated sewage, into the lake. But that, since the deep tunnel has come into operation, those overflows have been reduced dramatically. 20 years ago, Mayor Norquist decided that the district may operate better with not the oversight moving, but the operations moving to a company that had expertise doing this. And Veolia, which is the company that has that contract now, has been providing that service, I believe, for almost 20 years. And they have industry-wide acknowledged an impeccable track record, running the operations for the district. And the district, under the leadership of Kevin Schaefer, has been widely recognized as an outstanding operator of the sewage treatment And so now you have accusations coming from, it looks like, former employees who have raised questions about things from equipment maintenance to the type of chemicals that are being used. And this is coming right on the heels of a new contract that is up for bid. So where we stand right now is the district, which I think has taken a good step, is going to conduct an audit. Veolia is also going to conduct an audit. And then I think, like with most accusations, we should wait and see what the outcome of the audit is. And so all we have right now are accusations against a company that's had a phenomenal track record.
Well, interesting that you bring up that track record. I think that's important. Milwaukee has invested heavily in improving its waterways over the last several decades. But do you think this controversy is going to undermine that progress?
I think, again, the audits are going to tell us a lot about how the district and how Veolia has operated under the contract and how the district has managed it. So I tend to hold my powder until I see the audits. But again, their accusations against a track record that has been demonstrated to be very high performing. So again, I think we're sitting here and we've got accusations, and once the audit comes out, we'll have a lot more facts on the table.
So it's interesting because Veolia is saying this is part of a smear campaign. The contract is up in 2028.
Yep.
They're trying to sabotage our contract negotiations. I'm wondering if there's much competition for their services. Are there others that do what Veolia does to that level?
There are, and Veolia is headquartered in France. They have a lot of operations in the U.S. There is another company that's bidding for this contract. So there are two providers, if you will, that are bidding for the contract. So Veolia does have competition across the United States. And, this is the question, why is it coming up now? I saw, again, not one of the former employees who hadn't worked in the district since 2015. But again, all of this is, raising the specter of, is there really something going on? Is it trying to disrupt the contracting process? And that's why, again, I give the district a lot of credit for saying, look, let's do an audit, let's get the facts on the table, and then move forward.
We're talking with Tim Sheehy, Senior Advisor to the MMAC. Tim, new numbers from Visit Milwaukee show tourism generated a record $4.4 billion economic impact in Milwaukee County last year. What's your biggest takeaway from these new numbers?
Yeah, again, tourism and the value that it brings, it supports some 28,000 jobs in Milwaukee County. It's a very important part of our economy. And taking nothing away from tourism, it's also a reminder of what really is the region's fastball. If you look at net value added, which is the best economic way to look at an industry, tourism accounted for about $6.5 billion of Metro Milwaukee's GDP. The leader, however, is manufacturing at $18.8 billion, supporting some 74,000 jobs. So it's an interesting perspective. Taking, again, nothing away from tourism, it's a very important part of our region's economy. But really, the big boy in town, if you will, is manufacturing, driving 3 or 4 times that kind of economic impact and supporting, again, 74,000 jobs. So it's an interesting juxtaposition of the two, and it's nice to have that variety to support jobs and opportunity in the region.
I'm always curious that when it comes to studies like this, Tim, how many out-of-towners are visiting and their direct visitor spending? People who don't maybe know much about the state of Wisconsin, maybe they do know about it, and it's on their bucket list because of the restaurants or festival season or any one of a number of different things. Golf is a booming industry here, of course, in the summer and fall months. Is there a way to break that down? The job creation is incredible. The manufacturing sector is strong in Milwaukee. It has been for a number of years. But new visitors, direct visitor spending, is there a glimpse into that at all?
Yeah, there is. And again, visitors spent in Milwaukee County alone, $2.5 billion. I guess the state does the best job of collecting this. And they describe in 2025 117 million visits to the state of Wisconsin. So again, those are not all out-of-state visitors, but a healthy chunk of them are new visitors to Wisconsin, spending money here. And your question is really intuitive because the most important thing for economic growth is to have new money come into the state, either from somebody visiting here or from somebody buying a product that doesn't live in the state, because that adds new dollars to our economy. And that's the most important part of economic development, is bringing in new dollars. The rest of us kind of are recycling dollars within the community, and that's great, but we want new dollars in here to grow the region's economy.
Well, Tim, a lot of people will feel this one. New reports show that the return to office post-pandemic may be settling into a new normal. So what exactly is that new normal, and where does Milwaukee fit in it?
Yeah, it's a great question. Pre-pandemic, working remotely accounted for about 7% of the workforce. After the pandemic, it looks like it's settled in between 26 and 28% of the workforce is working remotely. And office visits across the country, people coming to work, are down about 32%. What's interesting about Milwaukee is pre-pandemic, we were probably on the higher end with 95% of people working in an office. Now, again, that goes back to our previous conversation that we are very manufacturing heavy, and you can't phone that in. You need to be on the plant floor,
Exactly.
making a product or making beer, so you can't phone that in. But what's happened in Wisconsin is we now have Milwaukee, we have about 20% of our workforce working in a hybrid mode, 2 to 3 days a week in the office, about 7% completely remote. And this is the thing that we have to watch for. The occupancy downtown, people coming to work downtown, is down about 22%. That's significant. But having said that, Milwaukee still has one of the highest in-office attendance records in the downtown across the United States. So that bodes well for us.
Really interesting information, as always, from Tim Sheehy, Senior Advisor to the MMAC. We always appreciate it, Tim. Great stuff today. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too. It's 12:24 on WTMJ. A lot of great things to get here to on the program today. No Brewers game tonight for what it's worth. The World Cup is underway. There is a guy from Milwaukee who is headlining the in-game experience at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. It's a fascinating opportunity. We're going to talk to him. His name is Johnny Watson, coming up at about 12:35. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house." Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Hey, Father's Day's almost here. Treat your father to the magnificent all-you-can-eat Father's Day brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club right near Holy Hill. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Google, call, and reserve your Father's Day table today. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 15th. Your top story, a deadly crash involving teens in Fond du Lac County.
I'm Jessica Ty. Who didn't win the state's Democratic straw poll?
Little mix of sun and clouds today, high 77 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Partly cloudy on Tuesday. There is a chance for showers and maybe a storm in the afternoon and evening hours, high 73. Rain likely on Wednesday with a high of just 71 degrees. It's 75 and partly cloudy.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Happening now in France, world leaders, including President Trump, arriving for this week's G7 summit. The president, meeting with France's leader earlier, told reporters that a new memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran has been digitally signed and will be finalized, he says, Friday in Geneva. President Trump says the strait will be reopening fully and vowed that Iran will not control that critical shipping waterway.
It's toll-free. We had a little argument on that. It's toll-free. So I don't think we're going to need much help, but I don't think it's a bad idea to have a ship or two up here from a few countries.
Iran's foreign ministry also says that they will still collect what they call a service fee to help escort ships through the strait. Prices for a barrel of crude began to drop on word of a deal, and the U.S. gas prices also dipping below $4 a gallon. Extreme heat alerts stretching up and down the West Coast, with California's Central Valley along with the Pacific Northwest to Oregon facing triple-digit temperatures. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31. One teenager is dead, another under arrest after a rollover crash in Fond du Lac County.
The crash happened in the town of Calumet on Highway HH Saturday evening. The sheriff's office says an SUV carrying 6 teens struck a culvert and utility pole, then rolled over. A 17-year-old girl died at the scene, and 5 others, including the driver, were injured. The driver is a 16-year-old girl from Sheboygan. She was arrested on suspicion of homicide by driving while intoxicated. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A proposed casino in Kenosha is drawing local opposition. Nearby communities say they could shoulder the impacts without seeing the benefits. Editor-in-Chief at the Milwaukee Business Journal, Tim Gibbons.
And some of the communities around Kenosha are pushing back on these plans, particularly Pleasant Prairie and both the village and town of Summers have lodged comments that basically they're afraid that they're going to get the negative impacts of a casino, increased traffic, increased calls for emergency services, things like that, but they're not getting anything out of it.
Gibbons says the comments will be considered as federal officials review the proposal.
Decision Wisconsin, the biggest surprise at the Democratic convention may have been who didn't win. Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes finishing 6th in the party straw poll, while Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez claimed the top spot. WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
Rodriguez may have, worker supporters. Francesca Hong has got a bunch of liberal support from the base. We're in her backyard in Madison. The surprising is probably Mandela Barnes. He's been the front runner perceived all along, but he finished 6th out of 7 candidates. Like, what's kind of going on there?
Ross says the results are better viewed as a test of campaign organization than statewide support.
A familiar face is back on Milwaukee television.
We are so excited to officially welcome meteorologist Lindsey Slater.
TMJ4 announcing Lindsey Slater as the newest member of Storm Team 4 after her abrupt departure from Channel 12 earlier this year.
I'm very grateful that they brought me home, and I'm grateful I get to stay home, and my new home is TMJ4.
The longtime Milwaukee forecaster telling Wisconsin's Morning News she considered different career options, but ultimately wanted to stay connected with viewers in southeast Wisconsin.
There's a lot of things I could have done, but honestly, I'm so happy that I get to still do what my passion is.
Slater will appear on TMJ4's weekday evening newscasts. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And stay with us here in Wisconsin's Midday News. Slater will join us coming up at 1:37.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 12:34.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with a goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
When we were kids on the farm growing up, there was a weed, yellow rocket, but we always slanged it mustard.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Dad didn't want the mustard on the farm.
No.
It was kind of invasive. Dad would just have us pick them. We would go in through the hay fields and we'd walk in the hay fields and we'd pick those fields clean. And he paid us a penny a plant.
Yeah.
Somebody had seen the story about us picking mustard.
One of the people that was submitting names.
One of the people that was submitting names for the contest submitted the name Penny Mustard. Actually, 2 people submitted that name.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of crazy names submitted.
Gosh be darn, who's Furniture Barn? I remember that was one submission we had.
When we narrowed it down to 50 names or so, we kind of just looked at it and I'm like, there it is. This is it. It's Penny Mustard.
It was glaringly obvious to us.
See more at pennymustard.com.
In hindsight, I'm not sure if Dad cared about the mustard or he just wanted to keep us busy.
Yeah. In hindsight, I think he wanted to keep us busy.
Smart.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers take 2 of 3 against the Phillies, earning a 4-0 win Sunday over Cy Young Award candidate Christopher Sanchez.
I'm happy for the guys to be in a battle like this against a team built for the World Series and that type pitching. And that's what this whole thing's about, is to try to be in these environments as much as you can and keep your poise and win a couple of them.
Brewers expected to call up shortstop prospect Cooper Pratt on Tuesday in advance of a series beginning against the Guardians. Pratt is the number 4 rated prospect in the Brewers organization. And the NBA season is over. The focus now turns to next week's draft. NBA insider for ESPN Brian Windhorst believes there are a couple of teams in best position to acquire Giannis if he doesn't stay in Milwaukee.
The Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Giannis has 1 year remaining on his current contract.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I have a good new development for you. The incident on the exit to 145 from 4145 north, that has cleared, just cleared right now. I no longer see anything out there. The cars are gone, the tow truck's gone, the ambulance is gone, the fire truck is gone. Great news there. And because of that, we're no longer seeing a delay. We are seeing a delay in our typical areas, our construction zones, especially right now on this Monday around American Family Field. That's both eastbound and westbound around the ballpark. We're seeing delays due to the construction. Also seeing our typical delays in the construction zone on 4145 in the Butler area and the Mayfair Mall area. But the Mayfair Mall area not looking as bad as usual.
little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds today. High 77 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Cloudy on Tuesday. Chance of showers possible in the later evening hours, a high of 73. Showers are likely on Wednesday with a high of 71. It's currently 74 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38. So the World Cup is underway. There are 16 North American cities hosting matches for the World Cup. 11 of those are in the United States, including Arrowhead Stadium. They will host its first World Cup match tomorrow. Argentina takes on Algeria, all part of the group stage of the World Cup. And a Milwaukee man will be calling the shots when it comes to fireworks, pregame introductions, pyrotechnics, all the things that make an event.
All the fun stuff.
Yes, a real event, especially when you are there. His name is Johnny Watson. He is a longtime executive producer of broadcast and live events for the Milwaukee Bucks, with a very cool and unique opportunity to showcase his skills during the biggest and most watched sporting event of the world. Johnny joins us from Kansas City. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys having me on. This is great.
It's such an awesome opportunity for you. Congratulations, first of all. But how did you find out about this, and how did the opportunity come about?
I've been fortunate enough to travel quite a bit around the world during the summer over my career, the last probably 10 years or so, and just have networked and met a lot of great people. And the company that hired for the World Cup this year, actually, I've worked with them for several events previously. Most recently, the Olympics in Paris in 2024, where I produced the basketball games for men's and women's for that particular tournament. So, yeah, when this opportunity came up last summer, I did the FIFA Club World Cup in Washington D.C. So that was unique. My first foray into soccer from an event production perspective, and then it was kind of a precursor for this opportunity here. And they asked me to come to Kansas City and earlier this year, and I couldn't turn it down. It's one of obviously the biggest sporting events in the world.
Awesome. The World Cup, yeah, definitely one of the biggest sporting events on the planet. How different is producing a World Cup game compared to producing a Bucks game here in the Deer District?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. There's a lot of similarities with sport presentation in general, right? As far as like the concepts, really what the difference is the scope. The scope's a little bit different. You've got people from all over the world coming into this market over the last month. Some people have been here for up to a year, kind of coordinating all the details behind the scenes to get this thing up and running. But you have all these people coming from all over the world to make this event happen. And it's kind of a crash course. I've been here for 2 weeks, and I've had a lot of training up to this point, a lot of documentation, a lot of meetings and whatnot. But then everybody gets on site, and it's just like you got 2 weeks to get everything together and figure it all out. So obviously in Milwaukee, I'm extremely fortunate, blessed. I've got a great group, great team, great organization that I know very well and know all the ins and outs, know all the people every day that I work with, and kind of what we can and can't do. And so it's a little bit different in that scope, but the principles of kind of sports presentation are very similar when it comes to video production and special effects and lighting and music and all those type of things. Obviously, you have an international audience here, so it's a little bit different in that way as far as what you're curating the experience to. But the principles of what it is are very similar.
You got one language to worry about when you're doing a Bucks game, Johnny. So you've got fans who speak Arabic, Spanish, Dutch, German. I'm just talking about what's in Kansas City here, and English, of course. Everybody wants to feel like they're at home when they're watching their team play. And this technically is a neutral site. So how challenging is that from a language perspective? So you know what to do. You know what cheers to help incite. You know how to get their crowd moving.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. It's a neutral environment. So our PA announcer and our hosts, and we cater certain activations to the teams. Obviously, when certain things happen, our pre-match ceremony is pretty large in scope, and we really cater to the fan bases during those moments prior to kickoff. So really, like with the anthems, with some of the music selections, when the team warms up, when we show their fans, we really cater. We have a whole database of music and announcements that we use, that we cater. And we've got a great PA announcer who's versed in those languages too, that can again communicate with those fans that are here in the stadium. So it's quite remarkable, honestly, like all the stuff that goes into it when you're catering to all these different people from all over the world.
You have produced NBA games for years. I'm wondering if there are any lessons that you're taking from the Bucks organization to the World Cup, because really you're creating these memorable moments. I think I went to 42 Bucks games last year, and I actually sit in my seat.
I love that, by the way. I love that.
During halftime, I often, unless I have to run to the bathroom or somebody really needs another beer, I often sit in my seat during the halftime because it's just so good. So this really is about creating memorable moments. But anything that you've really taken from your experience with the Bucks and you're going to use?
That's a great question. I take it all. Honestly, everything I've learned in my 14 years in Milwaukee up to this point, I take with me to what I do outside of Milwaukee. So all the lessons I've learned, I really like it. It like I said, there's a universal language we speak in sports presentation, but my foundation and my base is in Milwaukee. And it's not just with the work, it's with the people, it's with the culture, right? Like I said earlier, you come into these situations, you've got to galvanize a group of people in 2 weeks to all get together and go after one goal. And the objective is to get better and better, to familiarize yourself with each other. So that's what my objective is in Milwaukee, honestly. Like, the work is one thing, but the objective of culture and people matters just as much, because you've got all these people that come in together to make the experience great at Fiserv Forum, right? That's part-time staff coming in, that's entertainers, that's all these people who contribute to the success. You got to make sure we're all on the same page and one common goal. So I think that that's really my main takeaways when I do in Milwaukee, is like I try and carry over other places, and is get the people all on the same page, make sure we're all having a good time. There's a lot of pressure, obviously, there's a lot of stress, there's not many hours in the day to get all this stuff done, but at the end of the day, like, it's the World Cup. And if you, I always tell people, like, if you keep it simple, what we're here to do is to provide an incredible experience, make people laugh, cheer, whatever it is they're going to do, feel all these emotions and come together in a community, like in a unified atmosphere. It's pretty special. So if you keep it simple, that's kind of what it is.
I'm very curious what your budget is for each one of these matches, Johnny, and how it compares to that of the Bucks. Or if they just tell you, hey, we got you all these things, do with it what you want. Yes, you can use fire. We got all the, here's your warehouse of stuff. Go nuts. Or are you allowed to say, here's what I want, here's what I think we need?
It's super collaborative with our headquarters, our group, with the company that hired me for this. So yeah, I mean, every venue obviously has different capabilities, right? Like, we're an older venue, which I personally love, because it's just like, it's true to the sport, right? There's not all the other stuff going on in the arena. Like, I love SoFi, I love AT&T Stadium. Like, they're great, but there's just a lot of things to look at. Whereas here, you've got a couple video boards, you've got a couple LED, but the game is what matters. People are going to be focused on the match and what people are doing on the field, which is what I kind of attribute to basketball, right? Like, the soccer field, the soccer pitch is the basketball court, it's the stage. It's what people are all focusing their attention on. So we've got I can't disclose that information, but we've got a lot of really cool stuff that we're doing here. And it ramps up, obviously. Like, we kick off with Argentina and Algeria coming up tomorrow, which will be really cool. 70,000 plus people here, with flags and you name it, noise. I mean, just it's going to be an unreal environment. And we kind of ramp up everything. We've got a round of 32 match, a knockout round, and we've got a quarterfinal knockout round too. So we'll ramp up each game as we kind of get more familiar with kind of what our capabilities here and what kind of the environment is.
I love that you can really take our fans behind the scenes. So what is one thing that you think would either surprise them or that you were kind of shocked to find out?
I think when you come to these events, I'm always kind of floored by the scope and how many people are involved and how much logistics need to come together. I still can't fathom just all the hours and all the time that goes into this stuff. I mean, there's so many different departments. There's so many people from all over the world, and you come in together, like I said, and it's just it's really, truly remarkable. Like, it's really cool to be here and get to meet so many different people who are so good at what they do, and all come together. So, like, that's kind of thing, is just the overall scope of what this is, how big of an event it is. It is pretty staggering, and it's humbling to be a part of.
So cool. Johnny Watson is the executive director. He runs all the in-game entertainment for Milwaukee Bucks games at Fiserv Forum. He's done it for a number of years. Back when it was the Bradley Center, Johnny was doing his work. And if you see Bango running around the pitch, you'll understand why Johnny brought Bango to Kansas City. Not a bad deal. Hey, I got this guy. I know he's a great mascot. We'll bring him in.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. Don't tell him I said so, but he's the best.
Awesome. Johnny, well, congratulations on this very unique opportunity. We'll look forward to watching those matches because what's amazing is that your work, I know it's for the crowd at the game and the fans really feed into it, but you can see the stuff at home with drones and things that are flying around. Like that in-game experience really does come through the television these days, which is fantastic.
Yeah, when you tune in tomorrow again, I was doing a brief with our group this morning. It just gives me goosebumps. Like when you see that shot coming in of this stadium, and it's just epic. I mean, it's just like it just floors you. And like I said, it's just going to be an unreal environment. Outdoor stadium, the weather looks good tomorrow, which will be great. These fans are going to be incredible. It's going to be a lot. I'm really looking forward. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We will be watching, Johnny. We appreciate your time. Back to work. I know you're a busy man.
All right.
Thanks, Johnny.
You guys too. Have a great day. Thank you.
You bet. Johnny Watson, you've seen his work. If you've ever been to a Bucks game in the last 10, 15 years or so, you've seen Johnny's work in action. And if you ever wondered, how'd they get fired to do that? Or how do they do this? Or the lighting and everything. Johnny does all of that stuff at Fiserv Forum.
So awesome. And by the way, his name, Johnny Watson, like what a great name is that too?
Yeah.
I feel like, he could be one of the players out there. There he goes, Johnny Watson, watch him. I just love it.
Well, he's the executive producer of broadcast and live events for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he is taking those skills to Arrowhead Stadium for all of the matches in Kansas City for this year's World Cup. Very cool stuff. It's 12:49.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Hey, it's Greg Mancic for Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Just drove by there today. I'm always astonished at the inventory. I think I have great inventory at Sorens Ford. New Ford, used Ford, other models you might be interested. Check out the website. Visit Sorens.com. It's SOERENS.com. That's a great place to start. An incredible buying and ownership experience awaits you at Sorens Ford. They have been in business since 1917, longest running Ford dealership in the state of Wisconsin, now fourth generation family owned. They do it the right way. The ownership experience, the buying experience, all second to none. Their service, incredible. We needed an oil change and tire rotation in my wife's vehicle a few weeks ago. Made a call and they said, hey, can we come pick it up for you? I said, what? Like, yeah, we'll come to your house. We'll grab your vehicle. We'll bring it back to our dealership. We'll do all the necessary service and we'll bring it back to your home. I said, that sounds great. Fantastic. We had a couple of items crossed off our weekend to-do list. Never had to leave the house, right? It was a perfect situation for us. They'll do the same for you. Service, they go the extra mile at Sorens. Check them out online at Sorens.com. That's SOERENS.com. Or stop by. Conveniently located right in the heart of Brookfield. It's Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Nice day today, high 77 degrees, overnight low 58. There's a chance of rain later in the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow, the high 74. A little cooler on Wednesday and a better chance of rain. In fact, it's likely on Wednesday with a high of 71. 74 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:53. We talked about like the billions of dollars spent on World Cup security across North America. And I mean, it's no small task to try and keep this area secure. Novel approach in Peru. Police in Peru clamping down on drug trafficking and using the World Cup as its mechanism and vehicle. A video posted to a police official's TikTok account showed officers in Lima, Peru dressed up as Clutch the Bald Eagle and Maple the Moose. These are World Cup mascots. They ended up breaking down a gate with a battering ram before arresting a drug kingpin in Peru. They said, hey, we knew he was a big fan of soccer and he was going to be watching. So they paraded these World Cup mascots through the streets of Peru because, well, it's better than having an officer cracking down on what's going on, a plainly dressed officer. It should be noted that Zayu the Jaguar was not used in the raid. But yes, they proceeded to use these World Cup mascots in order to approach this drug kingpin without arousing any suspicion and ultimately making the arrest.
Wow, way to go there. It's interesting to see around the world just how much people are paying attention to this. I flew out to Amsterdam over the weekend for a very quick trip and flew through Atlanta on the way down there. And Atlanta, their terminals, they're ready to go, all set up for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. There's like a big centerpiece, a giant 14-foot LED sphere in the domestic atrium that was really cool to see. And then while we were in Amsterdam, just checking out some of the local pubs around, one of the pubs was all outfitted, all soccer, all FIFA World Cup.
Well, that is a big deal. The Netherlands have a pretty good team here, but who needs robot dogs and billions of dollars in drones when you have the mascot costumes of Clutch the Bald Eagle and Maple the Moose? You don't need much more than that. Not sure why Zayu the Jaguar was not used. We'll save that story for another time. It's 12:55 on WTMJ. Our show's on YouTube. Check us out. Hop into the studio with us. Our podcast page is built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
We'll step up to the plate, take a shot at winning some great prizes in the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee, April through June. It's going right now. You could win a share of $300,000 in prizes. All monthly promo entries count toward the grand finale drawing. That'll be June 26th. Triple the entries during Brewers home games. You can score one of 3 all-new Toyotas. Again, only at Potawatomi. Must be a rewards member to play and age 21 or older. More information is available for you online.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go ConnectChiro.com. Vince Vitrano here, proud co-chair of UPAF's community campaign. Think about the performances that stayed with you this year. Milwaukee Rep, First Stage, The Symphony, or a powerful local production that moved you to your feet. Your gift to UPAF supports every one of these moments year-round. Funding local organizations, arts education, and access to performances across the community. Right now, Northwestern Mutual will match your new or increased gift of $1,200 or more. Donate today at upaf.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to win. One call, that's all.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Coming up on 1 o'clock, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 15th. Your top stories: searching for a hit-and-run suspect.
I'm Jessica Ty. What the ceasefire deal means for local gas prices.
Mixture of sun and clouds today, high 77 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, and a low of 58. Rain enters the forecast later in the evening on Tuesday. Looks like a better chance for storms on Wednesday. 74, partly sunny in Milwaukee at 1 o'clock. From the WTMJ, breaking news from police in Menominee Falls looking for the driver involved in a hit and run. Responding about 7 o'clock Saturday night to St. Thomas and Roosevelt Drive on the city's northwest side, investigators say a man was intentionally hit by a car driven by his adult son after an argument. The son then fled the scene. Father taken to the hospital for life-threatening injuries. Police did recover the vehicle. A warrant is now out for the son.
President Trump says the Strait of Hormuz is already partially opened. That's after a memorandum of understanding to end the war in Iran was signed on Sunday. News Nation's Hannah Brandt says this is just the beginning of the process.
Of real concern to the international community at this point is the critical Strait of Hormuz. You heard the president say that would be fully open on Friday. But just moments ago, I got off a call with senior U.S. officials who said that in the next 1 to 2 weeks is when we should really expect traffic to start flowing through that strait in a significant capacity again.
The binding U.S.-Iran agreement is scheduled to be signed Friday in Geneva.
Many investors expressing optimism as a tentative agreement to end the Cold War in Iran could be news for the global economy. Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano on WTMJ.
See that oil now trading in the $80 a barrel range. So that is coming down. You should start seeing that at the pump as well. And, you know, really how that affects people's paychecks and what they pay for gas and energy is going to start coming down.
In Wisconsin, average gas prices are sitting about $3.85 a gallon.
Overnight, Russia launched one of its largest missile and drone attacks on Ukraine. President Zelensky says a Russian drone set fire to a monastery, an 11th century World Heritage site in Kiev. Russia claims without evidence that a U.S.-made Patriot air defense missile did the damage. ABC's Sophie Burridge.
The war on the front lines isn't going Russia's way. They're not taking very much territory at all. Even more recently, the Ukrainians have been pushing the Russians back in certain areas. And back at home, Vladimir Putin has his own problems to contend with. Most of those problems are caused by the war. The Russian economy is not in a great shape. And therefore, Russians more generally are beginning to wake up to the fact that this war that Vladimir Putin chose is simply not ending.
Ukraine says the latest Russian bombardment killed at least 10 people.
Milwaukee could soon loosen its rule on sidewalk chalk.
A proposal before the county board would allow people to write with temporary washable chalk on outdoor county property. It follows repeated complaints about pro-Palestinian messages on the Brady Street pedestrian bridge that led to sheriff's deputies being called to the scene. Supporters say the current rule wastes law enforcement resources and raises free speech concerns, while critics have objected to the messages themselves. The measure gets its first hearing this week. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is soaring up 600 points at 51,800. NASDAQ up about 3%, close to 800 points in the green at 26,655. And the S&P thriving today, up about 130 points at 7560. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
The most serious contenders to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, East 103.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit freighter.com/heart.
ACS Group has business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. ACS Group's IT manager, Mark Reinhardt.
I feel James Imaging Systems being local, I get to meet the people, see the people, they come in and find out what our needs are, and they're just great folks.
Great folks who partner with you and your business.
Absolutely. I categorize James Imaging Systems as a partner because they come in, again, sit down, understand our needs, listen to what things are bothering us, obstacles that we have, and they help bring us really cost-effective solutions.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and business technology expertise to help your business do business better.
That's huge for me and keeps us running smoothly, and we're able to focus on other things for this business.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The NBA season is over. Sights turn to next week's NBA draft. NBA insider Brian Windhorst of ESPN believes two teams have emerged as the most serious contenders to acquire Giannis from the Bucks.
He has focused on wanting to be a member of the Miami Heat, and because he's only got 1 year on his contract, he has some control over that. But the Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Windhorst is not ruling out the idea of Giannis returning to the Bucks for the final year of his contract. Brewers are expected to welcome infield prospect Cooper Pratt to the big leagues for Tuesday night's game against the Guardians. Pratt was pulled off the field during Sunday's game for the Nashville Sounds.
Cooper Pratt is giving out hug after hug in the Sounds dugout. And it looks like we are all finding out together that Cooper Pratt is going to the big leagues.
In April, the Brewers signed Pratt to an 8-year contract worth $50.75 million.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We're looking pretty good for the most part. No crashes to report at this hour. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out of the system, including this one. It's a broken down car on the exit to General Mitchell Airport from the I-94 South Collector. So heads up there. Maybe some of you are rushing out to the airport right now. We're also seeing our typical delays in our construction zones, but I will say the delays on 94 westbound around American Family Field, much better. In fact, there's hardly any delay right now, and that's great news because when we started Wisconsin's Midday News around noon, that was pretty heavy. We are seeing a little bit of a delay headed into the city, 94 eastbound, heads up there, but nothing out of the ordinary. Also, our biggest delays on 4145 in the construction zone are 4145 south, right when you hit Good Hope Road, you're going to hit the brakes right there, and then you get past Capitol, and it clears up.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Mixture of sun and clouds today, high 77. Partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Chance of rain on Tuesday, otherwise partly cloudy skies and a high of 73. Showers and storms are likely on Wednesday with a high of 71. 70 the high on Thursday, 72 and sunny on Friday. It's 74 degrees, partly sunny in Milwaukee at 108.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So one of the reasons I like watching the World Cup, I like learning about other countries and nations that I've never heard about before, including Cape Verde. So Cape Verde just played to a scoreless tie against Spain, which is a massive upset, even though there wasn't a winner. Spain's ranked number 2, Cape Verde ranked number 67 in the world. This is their first ever World Cup appearance. Where the heck is Cape Verde? Well, it's a small cluster of islands directly west of Senegal. It's tied to Africa. It is an African nation. It's just a little cluster of islands, not unlike the Bahamas to the Caribbean. Cape Verde is to Africa.
See, now we know. I like looking at all the flags. It's like, guess whose flag that is?
Well, I had no idea. That's why I had to look it up. So, Cape Verde. I know Spain. I did not know their opponent today, but yeah, no score. A scoreless tie in that match.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, agreement secured. Every dog is coming out. Ridglan Farms, a breeding and research facility that's been in business in Dane County for 60 years, has agreed to sell and donate its remaining dogs. That's 475 beagles. The organization getting them is Big Dog Ranch Rescue, one of the groups involved in the initial deal. Ridglan is transferring dogs as we speak. 325 come out this week. But the remaining 150, the ones being donated, they have to wait. We asked the president and founder of Big Dog Ranch Rescue why. There are some people wondering if those dogs that are coming out at the end of August are currently under any sort of research program, and that's why there's the delay. Is that indeed the case?
Yes, they are under a research contract. We are not privy to what that is, but we have been assured by Ridglan Farms that it is nothing that is life-altering, painful, anything, that testing is finished and the dogs just need to be monitored for their temperature for the next 6 weeks.
We mentioned last hour that Ridglan is asking the public to refrain from further protests. Well, so is Simmons. And why is that important to her? Well, she said because in the end, Ridglan did the right thing. We also know that she has been talking to RFK Jr., and I was curious, we know that the federal government is working on something here and has made some strides, but what's the latest on that? She just talked with RFK Jr. over the weekend, and we do expect a new development today. More from her interview coming up at 2:16.
Number 2, the United States and Iran have agreed on a deal to bring their nearly 4-month war to an end, with both sides declaring the immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts. Iran will then reopen the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. In exchange, the U.S. will dissolve its month-long naval blockade of Iranian ports. If Iran complies with deal points in the Memorandum of Understanding, the U.S. will facilitate the incremental release of up to $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets and issue selective oil sanction waivers.
We'll be releasing the text this week, and what everybody will see is that Iran doesn't get a dime of money unless they perform their obligations. And the money that we're talking about is fundamentally sanctions relief. We're not giving them American money. Not a single dollar of American money will go to Iran.
That's Vice President J.D. Vance. He's expected to sign off on the deal Friday in Switzerland. Iranian officials are confirming the deal. The signing triggers a strict 60-day negotiation window focused on resolving other aspects of Iran's nuclear stockpile.
Number 3. Well, we here in Milwaukee wait to find out what's going to happen with Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have this, a big parade this week for the New York Knicks, the new NBA champions. The mayor says it's going to happen Thursday morning. It's the team's first ticker tape parade.
We want to make sure that we're building a parade that can really meet this moment in terms of how much it means to our city, and also ensuring that we're taking every single step to keep New Yorkers safe as they do that.
And, every once in a while you have a couple people who just don't celebrate in the best way. A little violence comes out, and so they're trying to make sure that doesn't happen. He did say there were a select number of New Yorkers who celebrated in a way that was frankly unacceptable. His term.
It's 1:13 on WTMJ. Coming up next, a look inside some of Milwaukee's biggest development projects with Josh Jeffers, CEO of J. Jefferson Company, Crane Watch, after this on WTMJ.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
Well, when life changes, who can help? Greg Matzik here. I know the answer to that question. It's Annex Wealth Management. The loss of a partner, divorce, maybe a health crisis. Suddenly handling the finances on your own? Well, when all of that kind of stuff happens, one thing or the other, maybe multiple things, it's Annex Wealth Management to help you navigate through the process. Wednesday, June 24th, 6 o'clock in the evening, you can join the team from Annex at their headquarters in Brookfield for Single in Retirement Financial Planning Strategies. There are some unique financial challenges for those who age alone, and it's a workshop that'll help identify resources and best practices around managing your health care, your housing, your finances, all while creating a support network. You can reserve your spot. Just check out the events tab at annexwealth.com. Your plan with Annex will be custom because your situation is custom, no matter how complex or diverse your portfolio may be. Expert planners at Annex will walk you through a strategy designed for you, putting your best interests first and never under any pressure from sales pitches. Annex works with what you got. Great people. We trusted Annex for the last 7 or so years in managing our financial path toward retirement. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Check out annexwealth.com. That's annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Are you like me? Do you stress about your home, how it looks, or maybe you're worried about something leaking? Well, you can live with peace of mind and without stress by getting a new roof from Tri-County Contracting. Get yourself a free instant roof quote right now. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's that easy. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Some pops of sun today, mix of clouds, high 77 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Chance of rain on Tuesday, otherwise partly cloudy skies, high 73. We're in the 70s all week long. Best chance of rain appears to be on Wednesday. Showers and storms are likely with a high of 71. It's 74 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 116. Well, time for Crane Watch. A look inside some of Milwaukee's biggest development projects with Josh Jeffers, CEO of J. Jeffers & Company, prominent Milwaukee-based real estate development and investment firm. Welcome back, Josh. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So let's walk through this together. WHEDA is the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority. They recently announced its Housing Tax Credit Award recipients. It seems like something that you'd want to get if you're in this world, right? What is the program designed to do, and how much money are we talking about here?
Yeah, so this is the program that's designed to support affordable housing development throughout the state of Wisconsin. So these are tax credits that are awarded once per year by WHEDA, like you said, and it's a super competitive process. Every year they're usually oversubscribed. There are more projects than there are funds available. So it's a little bit like the Super Bowl for developers.
So 709 affordable units. That's significant. Are these truly affordable for working families, talking about teachers or nurses or service workers? Because that gets thrown around a lot, that we need more affordable housing. Or are we talking about a different income bracket?
No, you're spot on. So this is true affordable housing. The way this is set up is WHEDA defines affordable housing as the rents have to be 30% of a person's household income or less, right? So, and they scale it depending on what household income is. So first of all, it's important to note this is what we call a production subsidy. So in other words, this is a tax credit that is given to developers to build the building in a more cost-effective manner. But then the residents of these units, they have to have jobs, they have to have income, they have to be able to pay the rent. It's just that their rent can't be more than 30% of whatever their income is.
Okay, so it's not a rent subsidy.
Correct.
It's more of a development subsidy.
That's the best way to say it.
So,
yeah.
So curiously, does it cover a broad spectrum? So if I'm a developer here, do I have to be restricted to a conversion project, or can new construction be a part of it?
It can be anything. And what's interesting about these 8 projects that just got approved in Metro Milwaukee, I think there was 15 or 16 projects throughout the state, but 8 here in Milwaukee. And it spans quite a diversity of project types. So there are office to residential conversions. There are other adaptive reuse projects. There's a lot of new construction in there. And there's a pretty cool scattered site development. It's called the Amani Scattered Sites, which is new single-family home development where Northwestern Mutual Life is actually kicking in $3 million just of a philanthropic donation to help make it possible.
Okay, so out of these 8 projects, knowing your experience, I'm wondering which one you think could have the biggest impact in the neighborhood.
Well, the one I just mentioned really jumps out to me. The Amani Scattered Sites development. The Amani neighborhood is just to the east of Sherman Park, so a very important part of Milwaukee. And what's unique about it is they're actually rebuilding single family homes. And we've all kind of driven through parts of Milwaukee where you see vacant land sites or really dilapidated homes that need to come down.
Yeah.
We call these, it's like the missing teeth in the smile of neighborhoods. This is actually putting those teeth back in. This is actually rebuilding homes for once, which is kind of rare. Most multifamily development, consists of tall towers being built, but the real impact is, actually building homes in neighborhoods.
And Josh, I was reading a story about a week ago about a project called the Everett. So this is a proposed 12-story, 200-unit. This is luxury apartment living. And the location is what struck me. 234 South Water. I went to the little Google map and realized this is kind of right on the border of Milwaukee's 3rd Ward in the Harbor District. And I was thinking to myself, why has this not been developed already? Like, this seems like exactly where you would want to be. So what has held a project in this location back in years past?
Yeah, this is prime real estate, right? Like you said, right on the border of the southern part of the 3rd Ward in the Harbor District. And it's right along the river. It's a tough site. There have been no less than 4 other development proposals coming from credible developers over the last 15, 16 years that have all kind of tried and failed. The site has a really steep grade from the street down to the river. So you're almost kind of building into a hill. It's not a very big site, so while it's prime waterfront real estate, it's small, and it comes with a lot of challenges. But what is encouraging is this group that's Kading Development. It's a Minneapolis-based developer. They in 2025 they built nearby a 261 new construction apartment complex called the Evoni, it's right across from the Italian Community Center, kind of near the Summerfest.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, all of those apartment units. Those got built in 2025, delivered on time, on budget, and my understanding is they're mostly leased up. So
is that what makes this developer different from others who
That's
couldn't
my thought.
because they're like, okay, well, we just witnessed you make this happen?
Yes, I think that's part of it. I also think if you look back at the other four proposals, one was a casualty of the Great Recession, back in 08, 09. Another was a casualty of COVID. And another was a casualty just of interest rates going up so much, construction costs going up so much. We are actually in a somewhat more stable time right now. Construction costs, have kind of cooled off a little bit. Interest rates are obviously a lot higher than they were before COVID, but they also seem to have leveled out. So hopefully market conditions could see the launch of the Everett later this year.
So people in this area in the state of Wisconsin could benefit from a project like this. I'm wondering if, from your standpoint, Josh, as a developer, you mentioned it's a Minneapolis or Minnesota-based developer. Is that a source of frustration in Milwaukee with Milwaukee developers? Like, oh, of course. Well, Minnesota, here comes Minnesota, or here comes Chicago to do this kind of work. Dang it, we couldn't get it done on our end. Is there a source of frustration or competition when that kind of stuff happens?
I don't think so. Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes, among the Milwaukee developer community, there are sites like this where many have kind of come and gone, and, we all sort of know what the problems are that are holding it back. But a lot of times it just takes a fresh perspective, honestly. When we built the Huron office building where Hush Blackwell is located, the ground floor of that, this is where Tupelo Honey is.
Sure.
So that Tupelo Honey, believe it or not, is one of the most successful restaurants in Metro Milwaukee. And at the time, I'm the landlord of this, and I was a little bit suspicious about it because it fronts along Clybourne Street.
It's like right by the market, right across from the market.
It's right across from the market. And I remember the CEO pulled up on his Harley and got out, and I was pitching him on having the outdoor patio seating to be all along Broadway. The sidewalk on Broadway is 19 feet wide. And I just thought this is such an obvious place for there to be outdoor seating. And he said, no, you should have it all along Clybourne. And I, as the local Milwaukeean, kept trying to tell him, Clybourne, that's like a fast track to get to the highway.
Yeah, it's kind of busy.
Yeah. Nobody wants to sit along Clybourne. And he said, no, it faces the Milwaukee Public Market. Everyone driving out of there is going to see the tables and umbrellas and everything set up. I just remember thinking, okay, we'll try it your way. And now here it is. It's one of the most successful restaurants in downtown. So I think the point is sometimes, you just need that fresh perspective.
Okay, I love that. I am wondering, though, Milwaukee keeps approving these luxury apartments. And is the demand there?
Amazingly, so last year, 2025, was one of the worst years for the Milwaukee apartment market, probably since the Great Recession. Concessions were high. Rents were low, occupancies were going down. 2025 was a really rough year. But also, like I mentioned before, interest rates have gone up so much, construction costs have gone up so much. There really hasn't been as much multifamily development these last couple of years. And so now we're seeing, we're practically halfway through 2026, occupancies are going back up again. Rental rates are going back up again. So I think the demand is picking back up.
Always great information. But I would be curious if there's like an in-between here, right? There's luxury, there's affordable, it's tweeners. You're like, what about the tweeners? Yeah, I don't qualify for this, but I can't afford this.
Well, so that's one of my favorite pet, topics, which is the missing middle, right? And you're exactly right. There are a lot of programs, there's a lot of support for affordable housing. There's actually support for market rate luxury housing. What about the in-between? And, if we think back to 100 years ago, how Milwaukee handled that missing middle 100 years ago? The Polish flat. Are you familiar with this? It's
tell us more.
Yeah, so these are the little upper and lower duplexes that are very popular on the south side, all around the St. Joseph, the Basilica.
Oh.
There are a lot of these upper and lower duplexes. Bayview has these. So basically what it is you have these single-story cottages. You had all these immigrants coming in from Europe, and they would buy the way the story goes, they would buy a single-family cottage, and they'd live there long enough, they'd save up some money, and then when the time was right, this sounds kind of crazy, they would actually jack up the home and then build a lower unit underneath it.
Another one.
And then rent it out to a tenant. And this was a great way to add density to neighborhoods without building big towers. It was a great way of handling this kind of, missing middle. It's not the most affordable housing, but it's not, super expensive luxury housing either. It was just a very accessible way for regular people to add more units in neighborhoods.
I love that. We get a little history lesson during Crane
That's right.
Watch this week, too. Fantastic.
That's right.
Oh, it's great information. Josh Jeffers is the CEO of J. Jeffers & Company, joining us every other week here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Great insight.
Thanks so much.
Josh,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
127, we have news coming up in just a few.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If your garage door is busted, opener's not working quite like it should, give my friends at Geis a call today. They've got incredible inventory and great brands. Trustworthy brands like CHI and LiftMaster, all in stock and ready to go. Custom designs, they can do that too. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, it is Geis all the way. Check out their showroom in Brookfield, it's right off Barker Road. And don't think twice. Call Geis and visit geisdoors.com.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th. Get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, Father's Day's almost here. Treat your father to the magnificent all-you-can-eat Father's Day brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club right near Holy Hill. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Google, call, and reserve your Father's Day table today. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Coming up on 1:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 15th. Your top story, leaving no beagle behind at Ridglan Farm.
I'm Jessica Ty. Is Milwaukee's food truck curfew enforceable?
Mixture of sun and clouds today with a high of 77 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Chance of rain on Tuesday, otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 73. Better chance for rain on Wednesday. In fact, rain is likely with a high of just 71. We cool off a bit on Thursday to a high of just 70, back into the mid-70s with sun on Friday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A peace deal between the U.S. and Iran could be finalized by the end of this week. That according to President Trump. He's in France now for the G7, telling reporters a memo of understanding has been signed digitally. The president also says the ceasefire would be extended for 60 days and the Strait of Hormuz would reopen, along with talks beginning on Iran's nuclear program.
The main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that, with strong policing powers.
World leaders now gathering in the French Alps for a working dinner to kick off the summit. In Missouri, federal investigators are starting their probe into the weekend deadly skydiving plane crash at about an hour outside Kansas City. The pilot, along with 11 skydivers, were killed when the plane went down shortly after takeoff from Butler Memorial Airport. Matches taking place today in the World Cup in Atlanta. The game between Spain and Cape Verde ending in a 0-0 draw tonight. Iran plays New Zealand in Los Angeles. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Animal welfare advocates reach a deal to get the remaining beagles out of Ridglan Farms, the controversial breeding and research facility in Dane County. 475 dogs still at the facility will be transferred to Big Dog Ranch Rescue in Florida.
No more breeding, no more selling, no more testing, and full closure. Not one dog will remain.
Big Dog Ranch Rescue founder and CEO Lori Simmons says more than 300 dogs will be transferred immediately, with the rest leaving in August. Ridglan says it will shut down operations once the transfers are complete.
A father is still searching for a son who disappeared 3 years ago near Devil's Lake State Park.
James Yablonsky of Reedsburg was 13 years old when he went missing on June 12, 2023. His family believes he left in the family car, which was found on Highway 12 a few miles from the state park. A new age progression image from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children shows what Yablonsky may look like today at 16 years old. You can view that image and read more details at WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A judge still weighing whether Milwaukee can enforce a new downtown food truck curfew, which aims to reduce late-night violence.
The ordinance would require food trucks to close at 10 p.m. instead of 1 a.m., but a judge has temporarily blocked the rule after a food truck owner sued the city, arguing it would hurt business and violate constitutional rights. The Common Council unanimously approved the ordinance last month, pointing to recent violence near food trucks on Water Street. Alderman Scott Spiker.
The downtown alderman felt like this was a change that would make things better, and it came before my committee, and the police were saying that it would help things.
A judge is expected to decide within the next week whether to issue a formal injunction. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Decision, Wisconsin. Milwaukee is preparing to host 2 dueling political conventions next year. The Young Republicans National Convention is set for August 20th through the 27th, and now the Young Democrats of America also plan to be in Milwaukee. Young Democrats of Wisconsin Chairman Jake Williams.
It will showcase for the world the struggle for the future of our state and a battle for the soul of our nation. Because what we know here in Wisconsin is that what we do here does not stay in Wisconsin. It will ripple across the country.
This comes just 3 years after Milwaukee hosted the 2024 Republican National Convention.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. NBA season is over. Sights now turn to next week's NBA draft. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst believes two teams have emerged as the most serious contenders to acquire Giannis from the Bucks.
He has focused on wanting to be a member of the Miami Heat, and because he's only got 1 year on his contract, he has some control over that. But the Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Windhorst is not ruling out the idea of Giannis returning to the Bucks for the final year of his contract. Brewers expected to welcome infield prospect Cooper Pratt to the big leagues for Tuesday night's game against the Guardians. Pratt was pulled off the field during Sunday's game for Nashville.
Cooper Pratt is giving out hug after hug in the Sounds dugout. And it looks like we are all finding out together that Cooper Pratt is going to the big leagues.
In April, the Brewers signed Pratt to an 8-year contract worth $50.75 million.
Let's get an update on your roads with the WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We're looking really good for the most part. We do have a new disabled vehicle up in Ozaukee County. I-43 south, about 2 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 60. Right shoulder is blocked. I just pulled up the cameras for you. It looks like there's a big semi off to the road, but traffic is moving along at a decent pace around it, so that's good. We are seeing our typical delays around American Family Field in our construction zone. And also, this is a bit of a change here. 94 westbound headed out of the city around American Family Field, seeing a little bit longer delay than we were, about a half hour ago. And just a tiny delay. 94 eastbound headed into the city around the ballpark.
Time for a check of the weather here this week, starting off with relatively mild conditions. Trying to welcome in, who do we got, Niz today? Is it Niz?
Is it Lauren?
It's not Niz.
It's not Niz.
It's Lindsey Slater today. Are you trying to tell me she was the one in those promos from TMJ4? We've finally pieced it all together.
Lindsey, did you have so many people coming up to you just saying, it's you, right? I mean, I feel like this was the worst kept secret, even though they tried.
Right. The thing about it was, I think that they wanted it to be kind of like a nod, kind of like a cheeky thing. But yes, I had a lot of viewers reach out to me, to my email, my Facebook, and everything, and I was just like, I don't know. I mean, that could be anybody.
Yep.
That's what I just kept saying.
Well, welcome to the TMJ4 family, and welcome to our show. I'm not sure how frequently you'll be able to join us. What is your day going to look like from day to day? Do you get to ditch the alarm clock at least for a little while?
You know, I still am going to get up at 4 a.m. just because I still like to kind of do that. I got to get to the gym. So the only thing that's different in my brain is gym is before work, not after work, really. So I will still be getting up early, but not quite as early as I was. The 2 a.m. alarm clock is out the window, but I will fill in from Brendan now and again. In fact, next week and the week after, I'm filling in for him on Monday and Tuesday. So I don't want viewers to get worried. Brendan is still very much the morning show. I will be working 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. Kind of like in tandem with Niz. We're going to kind of like tag team weather and make it really big. Specifically, if he's in studio, I'm out live in the community. And that's something I've never had the opportunity to do. And I'm really excited to do that and to see viewers and say hi to them and really highlight some community events and do the forecasts for those events.
So, Lindsey, there are so many viewers out there who are so pumped and so excited to see you back on Milwaukee television. But there are a lot of people, too, who just want to know what happened.
I know. Everyone asks me that. So what I can say is I am very grateful for Channel 12 for bringing me back home, because there's a lot of broadcasters that don't get to do that. You know, I worked in 2 other states. I worked in Jackson, Mississippi for 4 years. Like literally I got married and 4 months later, my husband and I were moving to Mississippi. So I worked there. I worked in Springfield, Missouri for 4 years, and 12 is what brought me home. And Channel 4 is now my new home so that I can stay home. I never wanted to leave. I was never going to leave, and I'm glad I don't have to.
Yeah,
and
you built a house here,
very
right?
Happy. I did, yeah. I built a house in 2020 in Waukesha. I'm like really close to Wales. And we love it. I was never a resident of Waukesha County, and now I am. And I went to school at Carroll College back in the day. So, I mean, my heart is always a South Sider. I grew up in Franklin, so that's where my heart always will be. But Waukesha is very, very special to me. And I love being out there with my husband and my 3 cats and all the foster cats and all the cars.
Well, you've reestablished southeastern Wisconsin as your home, and you mentioned you never wanted to leave. That being said, there's very limited opportunities to stay doing the same thing that you were doing at Channel 12. So was there even a thought like, I might need to pivot here if we want to stay in southeastern Wisconsin?
Right. And the thing about it, too, is that doing weather has changed in a huge way. I had considered maybe just staying digital, and a lot of people get their weather digitally, and I see the huge digital space that there is. But then literally it was after that week of tornadoes we had that I realized I can't do this all on my own. I was exhausted. I was completely exhausted, and I felt this immense responsibility to make sure that people who did follow me were being safe. And I can't do that alone. And that's why I was like, I need to be on a team. I need to be back where my heart is telling me to be. And it was back on broadcast. And this is a way that I can utilize tools. And also with Channel 4, they are really big on getting out in the community. And that is something that they practice and preach and teach. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you gave me the goosebumps when you said you felt the responsibility when those tornadoes were happening, because I get it. I mean, that's something that you can't let go of, right? I'm curious because 12, you were such a fixture at 12, and now you're joining another team that has a great group of people. But how do you hope to make your mark on Storm Team 4 and TMJ4?
I think they're very much involved in, we're doing this tag team with me and Niz in the evening. We want to make weather big. And I've actually never been a part of a 5-person team. But I believe at this point, 3 of the 5 stations have 5-person teams. So I think this is the trend. You need a lot more coverage. It is hard with 4 people. I've been a part of a 4-person team. It's very hard. So I'm very much looking forward to collaborating with my teammates, with Brendan, with Niz, with Jacob, with Lauren, and just giving it our best and serving Southeast Wisconsin in a way that we always have hoped to. And now we can with a 5-person team, and we can actually live up to our promise of always being there.
I think anytime somebody starts a new job, Lindsey, they're wondering, okay, who are these people, and how do I get to know these people? But it's a little different, right? The community of news and weather and sports people in this market, whether it's TV or radio, there is a familiarity. There is a sense of hosting events and things in our community. That's got to feel at least comforting to know kind of who those people are you'll be working with, because they've seen you, you've seen them, you've likely interacted several times before. Not everybody has that opportunity. That has to be refreshing.
Absolutely. I mean, I've moved across the country and started from square one, and it is hard. It is super hard. So I'm very thankful I don't have to start at square one. We've built up a community of people that not just follow me, but follow Storm Team 4. So we get to kind of bring it together, and I'm very excited again to have this new home, and I'm still very much friends. I mean, it's not like Anchorman. All the meteorologists here, we get together for like lunch and stuff. Like, there's no weird bad blood. There's no competition. It's just we all really want to tell people the weather, and everyone has their own flavor and way of doing it. And everybody does such a great job here. So there's really no bad place. I think that everyone does a great job. And again, I'm just happy that I just get to keep doing it, because my heart sings to it. And, I'm just grateful, so grateful, especially for the viewers who had reached out. I've mentioned this before earlier today on a couple other radio shows, that a lot of people had reached out to me, and a lot of people were getting my updates on social media. And I did see all the comments. I saw all of the emails. I tried my best to respond to everybody, and I really appreciate their support.
Okay, I have to ask, was a requirement of you getting the job at TMJ4 that you would have to bring some of those cookies? Is it you and your mom who team up to make the amazing cookies that I've seen on social media?
It is. I was actually just telling Brendan, I was like, because my second day I brought cookie dough brownies. It's one of my favorite things to make. Yum. I love cookie dough brownies. And I'm probably going to make a coffee cake for next week, because I'm filling in for Brendan, and I want to give the morning show people some goods, because the evening folks got all the goods. But yes, every Christmas I literally take a week off of work so I can bake with my mom, and we make 20 different kinds of Christmas cookies, and then we make big platters of it, and we give them out to people. And I just spend like 2 days going to the Weather Service, going to the Humane Society, going to the Hog, going here and there and just dropping them off. And it's just like, you're like a little Santa for the day. That
is great. And right now, Greg is saying, sign us up. Put us on that list, Lindsey.
Yeah, add us to the list. That'd be great.
You're a part of the list.
Thank you so much here. Now, do you want to walk us through a forecast here? We haven't talked weather yet. It's
we got to put you on the job.
So what are we looking at this week?
Okay, so for today, 77 for that high. I do think that we have a full day of sunshine today. Beautiful day, low humidity, warmest day of the week. Tomorrow, we have a clipper that's coming in. And this guy is just going to kind of swing around a couple little spotty showers. It's going to keep us kind of cloudy, a little breezy at times, high of about 73. And then as we go into Wednesday, that is definitely like in the back of your brain, that's the day you want to make sure you have an umbrella. That's kind of our soggy day. And I know that there's like the Garth Brooks concert that night. I know there's a lot of events going on pre-Summerfest. I'm hopeful that the front can move out ahead of time before that starts, but just be aware that your morning commute's likely going to be soggy. There could be a couple of strong storms with some of those that are going to move through on Wednesday morning and also the afternoon. We got to kind of have to see how Tuesday plays out first so we can time out Wednesday better. The rest of the week looks good. We are below average. Highs are just in those low 70s where we should be at about 77. But I don't know about you. Low 70s, Summerfest start, and you're not sweating? That's a solid one.
That's pretty good. Maybe some people might have to bring a cardigan, though, or a light jacket along the lake. Sometimes it gets a little cool for people, especially people who live out in the burbs and they come downtown and woo, it can be a little chilly. But we're not complaining about that.
Oh, it looks good. And the humidity stays low, too, which is awesome.
Well, Lindsey, welcome officially to the team from us. We look forward to having you on our program whenever those times work out. It's great to have you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome back, Lindsey.
You bet. Lindsey Slater.
Thank you.
Vince Vitrano here with my HVAC guy, Ryan from Urban Heating and Cooling. Ryan, I want to ask you about the air conditioner tune-up, which people should do on an annual basis. But first, if you're one of these folks who's got an older air conditioner unit, how do you know it's time to start thinking about replacing?
Yeah, that's a big question we always get. If your unit's older than 12 years, constantly breaking down, having issues, maybe even struggling to cool your house, is a good time to start thinking about that.
You want to do that because at some point you got to replace it.
You're exactly correct. If you wait, there could be delayed times, uncomfortable, heat or humidity in your house. So now is the time to actually start thinking about that.
What can you do for folks right now to make it easier?
So we are offering a Replace It Before It Breaks promo, which includes a free high-efficiency air cleaner. But we also offer free estimates, financing options.
And you always know what you're going to spend with the free estimate. And Ryan, no pressure with you. I know that. Talking with Ryan from Urban Heating and Cooling. Okay, the AC tune-up. I've learned to do this year after year. It's the best thing you can do for your air conditioner. Even if you've got a newer unit, you still want to come out and have a look at everybody's AC right now.
Yeah, most major breakdowns start to happen as simple breakdowns. So if we can get in there and fix the simple problems before they become major problems, it's a very good idea.
And when you've done this at my house, it's inside the house, it's outside the house. You clean all the things out.
Correct. We clean the entire system, both inside, outside, and look for any problems that could arise in the season.
Also, one easy tip to take better care of your HVAC system. Everybody should do this on a biannual basis, at least, depending on what kind of filter you got?
Correct. Air filters, are the biggest, easiest things for a homeowner to replace, whether it's 1 to 2 months for a standard filter or 3 to 6 months for a high-efficiency filter.
I love that you're right here in the community. You and your wife, Allie, it's your business. You're both born and raised here and taking care of your neighbors.
Yep, we're always here to help.
Ryan from Urban Heating and Cooling. Remember, the replacement promo is going on through the end of June, and you can always ask for the Vinny special on the AC tune-up. Just tell Janelle over there that Vinny sent you. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
Yep, sounds good, Vinny. Horicon Bank is a bank founded by inventors and fueled by community and focused on business. For 130 years, Horicon Bank has been doing business in the state of Wisconsin. Started back in 1896. A single branch in Horicon. People were going to work. People were trying to get their business started. Wisconsin was barely 50 years old. Not even 50 years old, as a matter of fact. Well, Horicon Bank continues to open doors in communities near you. The newest branches are in New Berlin and Menominee Falls and Wauwatosa, Grafton, and West Bend. Horicon Bank still doing banking differently, still offering financing requests that can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker at Horicon Bank understands you and your business. Check out Horicon Bank. Together doing good. Local, 130 years experience. Member FDIC.
Networks, streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. But where did the concept originate? We may be biased, but we think these big wigs found their inspiration for plus at Hasseless Mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free. Give your mattress a try with no pushy sales guy. Plus, our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293. Plus, unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, free next-day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit. plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress, plus a ruggedly handsome spokesman with a smooth radio voice. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hassellus Mattress. Or maybe we should change our name to Hassellus Plus. Nah. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
Oh boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity, you buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room, the Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza, mineshaftrestaurant.com.
With a U.S.-Iran peace agreement signed this week, average gas prices are down significantly across the country.
For the first time since April, the average price of regular gas in the U.S. is below $4 per gallon at $3.99, according to Gas Buddy. That means filling up a mid-sized 18-gallon SUV costs about $72 today. That's down from $81 1 month ago, but still well above the $53 it cost before the war began at the end of February.
Okay, so I just pulled up our local gas prices here on the AAA gas gauge, and it's nice to see. So the Wisconsin average right now is $3.86. In Milwaukee, we're just below that in Milwaukee County at $3.83. Ozaukee County, it's always Ozaukee County. I keep saying, I don't want to fill up in Ozaukee County. I'm going to keep driving through if I can and have enough gas. Because in Ozaukee County, you're going to pay $4 a gallon on average right now. Kenosha and Racine, so if you're closer to the Illinois border there, that is lower. It looks like $3.80 is the average price. But here's the thing, Greg. If I look at the Wisconsin average gas prices and compare today's average to yesterday, a week ago, and a month ago, it's just a good trend. Yeah. A month ago, it was $4.57 a gallon. A week ago, $3.96. Yesterday, $3.87. Today, $3.85. So let's just keep those prices going down.
Looks like 26 states in total, 26 states are right now below $4 a gallon on average, just according to Patrick Tihan at Gas Buddy. 26 states. The states that are still a little on the pricey side, it's all those mountain states and then west of California. Alaska, I guess you could include in that, west of California. Illinois is still a little pricey, so is Michigan. And then the Northeast seems to be very expensive. So the Midwest down to Texas, all the way over to Florida, up as north as, looks like Maryland, you're under $4. Everything else is still above the $4 mark. And we'll see how that trend fluctuates here over the next week or so. Sometimes there's a little lag in here in terms of, the news spearheading the cost, but it's going the right direction in general in most states.
I was just trying to find it. This was back, I think, at the end of May, but my husband sent me a snapshot of a receipt for the fuel for a plane. We're talking about 31,000 gallons. Unreal. Imagine filling that baby up and looking at the price tag on that.
Pull it up to Quick Trip and put in your Advantage Plus card or whatever and save a couple of pennies per gallon.
Product, Jet A1, total quantity, 27,130 U.S. gallons.
Wow. It's 1:55 in WTMJ. Hour number 3 of the program coming up in just a few minutes. Wisconsin's Midday News continues.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads. Like 20% off select automotive accessories, $350 combined savings on a Craftsman tool chest cabinet combo, plus 16 packs of Duracell AA or AAA batteries, $12.99. Find value on the Gifts Hill value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Oh, I had a great weekend, a busy weekend, kind of all over the place. And last night, we had made up our mind we were going to make a nice dinner and hang out in the basement and watch a little World Cup soccer. It was great. We were comfortable. We had dinner. We watched the World Cup. And we didn't have to move spaces. Thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing, we've got a community area where we dine. We've got an area we can just sort of lounge in and watch TV. Matrix Basement Finishing designed a beautiful lower level for us. It's now the heart of our home, our basement. It's because of Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. This is their specialty. They'll do for you what they did for me. Expert design consultation is how they kick it all off at your house. Before you know it, you're approving plans and making those finished selections. Also, from your kitchen table, they bring the process to you. And then, once the project is up and running, you will be able to follow it from start to finish. For us, it was about 11 weeks, but the schedule was all built out. We knew who was coming to the house and when. Trusted, reputable contractors were in our home. It's Matrix Basement Finishing, all the way here. Check out their before and after pictures all over their social media pages, and mine for that matter. Connect with Matrix now, and no payments until 2028. Why wait? You've wanted to do that lower level for so many years. Make those memories. Host for the holidays. Don't put it off. You're loving spending time at your home more than ever. Do it the right way with Matrix Basement Finishing.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Mercier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
When should you take Social Security? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For many retirees, Social Security is one of the most important income sources they'll have. But deciding when to claim your benefits isn't always simple. Claim early, and your monthly benefits may be permanently reduced. Wait too long, and you might miss years of income you could have received. The right strategy depends on several factors: your health, your spouse's benefits, your other retirement income, and how taxes could affect what you keep. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families coordinate Social Security with the rest of their retirement plan so it works alongside your investments, taxes, and income strategy. To help you get started, I'm offering my complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides that explain how Social Security fits into a complete retirement plan. Call 414-897-9522 or text TAX to that number for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word TAX to 414-897-9522. Because when it comes to Social Security, the right timing can make a big difference.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 15th. Your top story, identifying the victim of an apartment standoff.
I'm Jessica Ty. New strategies to keep late-night activities safe.
Mix of sun and clouds today, high 77, overnight low 58. Tuesday, partly cloudy, chance of rain, high 73. Much better chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 71. It's 74 degrees, partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom. Identifying the man shot and killed by Milwaukee police after an apartment standoff. Medical examiner says 22-year-old Jalen Brown of Milwaukee died at the hospital Friday afternoon. Police first responded to a reported robbery near 84th and Lynx. Brown then allegedly threatened to take his own life before firing shots at officers and then running into an apartment complex. Police negotiated for Brown to come out of the building, eventually firing shots at him. The officers involved remain on leave.
A man is dead and a Dodge County Sheriff's deputy is hurt after a large tactical response last night.
Investigators say a suspect opened fire on responding officers at the River Run Dog Park in the town of Elba. The deputy suffered serious injuries and was taken to UW Hospital in Madison. Authorities later found the suspect dead inside of a vehicle from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The sheriff's office says no officers fired their weapons during the incident. There's no ongoing threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee's Brady Street trying something a little new to tackle late-night problems this summer.
Beginning June 25th, a 6-week pilot program will increase coordination between businesses, police, and neighborhood partners to address late-night concerns. Reckless driving, loitering, open intoxicants, loud music, and other disruptive behavior will be monitored heavily. Officials are also exploring designated rideshare pickup areas and overnight parking restrictions. The Business Improvement District says it will gather community feedback before deciding on any long-term changes. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The FAA and the NTSB are investigating a deadly plane crash in Missouri Sunday morning. 12 people were killed when the plane went down shortly after takeoff south of Kansas City. ABC's Matt Rivers.
The Pacific Aerospace P-750 plane holding 11 passengers, all preparing to skydive. Shortly after takeoff, a city official says it appears the pilot may have been trying to make an emergency landing on a flat roadway nearby, but the plane stalled and crashed. The company operating the flight, Skydive Kansas City, saying in a statement, "Our deepest sympathies are with the families, friends, and loved ones of all who were lost."
The plane was on its third flight of the morning, according to FlightAware, which is a flight tracking platform.
President Trump says the Strait of Hormuz is already, quote, partially opened after a memorandum of understanding to end the war with Iran was signed on Sunday. News Nation's Hannah Brandt says a senior administration official has told her it will take some time before the oil flows through the strait.
One of the challenges here is those mines that they believe are laid in the Strait of Hormuz. The president pointing to that as well, nodding to that as a challenge. But this senior U.S. official essentially says that there are complications that make returning to normal flow in the strait a bit more complex, though that significant increase in ship traffic that they predicted will happen in the coming weeks, they say, is reflected by the uptick that we've seen in recent hours in the markets.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets reacting favorably to the news of the possible end of the war and the opening of the strait. The Dow up nearly 600 points at 51,781. NASDAQ up nearly 800 points at 26,658. And the S&P is up about 130 points today at 7560. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience saving businesses money. I want to speak to you small business owners and make a bold statement. I will bet you our team can put at least $25,000 in your pocket. Yes, you heard right, $25,000. We work closely with small businesses to help them use tax strategies and develop processes and procedures to make their business generate cash to keep in their pocket. My team and I have saved clients thousands of dollars by using our knowledge and experience to develop strategies tailored to your business. Would you like to see if you can do it? Your only cost is 33 minutes of your time. That's right, just 33 minutes, and who knows how much you can pocket. Remember, you earned it, we help you keep it. Call us at 414-325-2040 and ask the $25,000 question. That's 414-325-2040, or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
When it comes comes to simple, affordable home improvements, at Less's Glass, you'll find an array of options, like for bath remodeling. Adding a new glass shower door, embeveling the edges of your mirrors, or simply having us install new mirrors to any living space in your home can add a touch of elegance and depth that can really turn a room's frown upside down. Or maybe you're thinking new cabinet doors. Before you write that check, find out how we can make your ordinary cabinet doors beautiful with a variety of glass insert options that can be easily installed into your existing wood cabinets and make a world of difference. And before you pay for new windows, call us to see if our affordable insulated glass replacement services can't save you a few bucks. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers take 2 of 3 against the Phillies, picking up a 4-0 win Sunday over Cy Young Award candidate Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies.
I'm happy for the guys to be in a battle like this against a team built for the World Series and that type pitching, and that's what this whole thing's about, is to try to be in these environments as much as you can and keep your poise and win a couple of them.
Brewers are expected to call up shortstop Cooper Pratt, the number 4 rated prospect in the organization. He's expected to make his major league debut Tuesday night against the Guardians. Rookies and younger members of the Packers roster take center stage for the final block of organized team activities. Matt LaFleur excusing many of the veteran players until training camp begins July 29th. And with the NBA season over, the focus now turns to the draft. Next week, NBA insider for ESPN, Brian Windhorst believes there are 2 teams in best position to acquire Giannis.
The Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Windhorst is also not ruling out Giannis returning to Milwaukee for the final year of his contract.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a brand new crash popped up just a few minutes ago here. It's on Wisconsin 241 North. Many of you will call that 27th Street, so let's call it that. 27th Street at Barnard Avenue. All lanes are blocked due to a crash. I pulled up the closest camera. There's not one that's super close, but there is a camera. I can't actually see the physical crash, but I can let you know. Police already out there. Looks like there's a fire truck out there as well. This isn't a spot where there's construction. Oh, yes, it's summer in Wisconsin. Hopefully the injury's not too bad on this one, but we do have this brand new crash. It's on 27th Street at Barnard Avenue. All lanes are blocked because of it.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Well, today is the warm day of the week, with temperatures topping out about 77, just slightly cooler near the lake. Partly cloudy tonight, low 58. Tuesday, partly cloudy, chance of rain. Low possibility, however, a high of 73. Wednesday, showers and storms are likely, a high 71. Thursday's high just 70 degrees. Friday, 72 and sunny. It's 74 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
And a reminder, we'll be at Summerfest on Thursday and Friday. We're kind of shortened up on Thursday, however, for day number 1 of Summerfest, but we wanted to be there when the gates opened.
You're never shortened up, Greg. Get out of here.
Well, we wanted to be there for when the gates open, but we do have a Brewers game that day, too, so our show is shortened a little bit. We'll be there for a full show on Friday. We're looking forward to being out on the lakefront as this thing kicks off the start of summer here on the festival grounds.
Give us a wave, come say hello, but do it during the commercial break so Greg doesn't get mad.
Please do.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, we start with the big breaking news out of Wisconsin today. Ridglan Farms is releasing its remaining beagles. The controversial breeding and rescue facility in Dane County has come to an agreement with Big Dog Ranch Rescue out of Florida. It's selling another 325 dogs to the group and donating the rest. Ridglan is transferring the first batch of beagles over a 2-day period starting today. The final 150 are coming out before the end of August. We talked with the president and founder of Big Dog Ranch Rescue right before she made this announcement public. Lori Simmons is back here in Wisconsin. She's moving beagles from Ridglan to the staging area right now. The staging area is where they bring the dogs. As soon as they come out of Ridglan, she is bringing them to the spot where they can get microchips, vaccinations, and quick health checks as well. Simmons tells us today means everything.
We made you a promise that we would not stop until every single beagle was out safe and sound. We would not leave one dog behind. So today we're honoring that promise to you, and it marks a historic victory for all the dogs of Ridglan Farms. Secured the binding agreement that Ridglan Farms will close for good. No more suffering, no more testing on dogs, no more breeding. And for that, we are thankful and elated.
Now that Ridglan Farms has finalized plans to transfer the rest of the dogs, it's asking the public to refrain from further protests. Ridglan calls it a years-long harassment campaign. The company says it's also hoping Wisconsin's legal system holds people accountable, the people who broke in and took dogs from the facility in March. And stay with us, because coming up in just a few minutes here at 2:16, you're going to hear our entire interview with Simmons and find out why that final batch of dogs can't come out this week.
Well, number two, the FAA and NTSB investigating a deadly plane crash in Missouri on Sunday morning. 12 people were killed. Plane went down just south of Kansas City soon after takeoff. ABC's Matt Rivers is on site.
The Pacific Aerospace P-750 plane holding 11 passengers, all preparing to skydive. Shortly after takeoff, a city official says it appears the pilot may have been trying to make an emergency landing on a flat roadway nearby, but the plane stalled and crashed. The company operating the flight, Skydive Kansas City, saying in a statement, "Our deepest sympathies are with the families, friends, and loved ones of all who were lost."
It was a scheduled skydiving excursion. Several family members of the passengers were watching from the ground, right? If you're not among those skydiving, you can elect to watch. You can watch it happen. I have been on one of these planes before. I've skydived before. I've had people on the ground watching me come down and taking pictures and doing that kind of thing.
All that.
You can imagine how horrific this would have been. This plane went nose first into a field about 300 yards away from the runway and was immediately engulfed in flames. And the imagery is just horrific. And this was shortly after leaving the runway. The plane failed to safely gain visual altitude, initiated a sharp left turn, stalled, as you heard outlined there in that report, and then ultimately went down. So the investigation continues into what went wrong with that plane.
Up next, securing the deal to get all of the dogs out of Ridglan Farms, a company that's been in business in Dane County for 60 years. We talk with a woman who made it happen.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
Say, Spro, you're on the team. Deal with it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Well, every time I look at my home, I'm reminded of the incredible work done by Siding Unlimited. They installed the siding when we built our house a little less than 10 years ago. It still looks brand new. The color is perfect, has not faded any bit. The caulking is perfect. Everything is straight, no warping. Just an incredible installation job of a high-quality product. And that's where Siding Unlimited separates itself from the rest. A lot of places have great products. Well, that's great. But do you have the right installation teams? This is what Siding Unlimited prides itself on. Incredible installation of high-quality products at your home. Siding, roofing, windows, doors, anything to protect and beautify your home's exterior. Siding Unlimited can do it, and they've done it for us over the years. It's a family-run business. Brothers Eric and Aaron Brown are continuing what their father started over 30 years ago. At that time, it was just siding. Well, today it's Siding Unlimited. Check out sidingunlimited.com.
Your Father's Day all-you-can-eat buffet is under $20 this Sunday at the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve your table for under $20. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Well, today's the warm day of the week with temperatures topping out about 77 degrees. Comfortable temperatures, a little mix of sun and clouds, overnight low 58. There's a small chance of rain on Tuesday with a high of 73. Wednesday, rain is likely with a high of 71. Clouds are in the forecast for Thursday with a high of 72, 72 and sunny on Friday. It's 74, partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 216.
For months, we followed the protests, arrests, rescues, and negotiations surrounding Ridglan Farms in Dane County. Now we have the biggest development yet. Big Dog Ranch Rescue says it's reached an agreement with Ridglan Farms that will result in the permanent closure of the facility and the transfer of its remaining beagles. If the agreement is completed as planned, there will be no dogs left at Ridglan Farms by August. The founder and CEO of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, Lori Simmons, joins us with the breaking news today. Lori, you have been working towards this day since you first became involved with Ridglan Farms. What does this mean to you?
It means everything. And mostly it means everything for these dogs' safety and their freedom, knowing they will be safe and eventually going into arms of loving families. And when we launched this mission, we made you a promise that we would not stop until every single beagle was out safe and sound. We would not leave one dog behind. So today we're honoring that promise to you, and it marks a historic victory for all the dogs of Ridglan Farms. Secured the binding agreement that Ridglan Farms will close for good. No more suffering, no more testing on dogs, no more breeding. And for that, we are thankful and elated.
So, Lori, there were some conflicting reports on just how many dogs remained at Ridglan Farms. Can you confirm how many dogs you'll be pulling out of there?
A total of 475 dogs. 325 we will remove today and tomorrow. There are 150 that have to remain to have their temperature monitored for the next 6 weeks. And beginning of August, those dogs will also come into Big Dog Ranch Rescue.
So, Lori, when did you learn that this was a possibility to get the remaining dogs at Ridglan, and how exactly did it happen?
Well, I had to sign away my freedom of speech with this agreement, but I can tell you that last week, myself and the attorney for Ridglan Farms negotiated back and forth for the agreement of the release of all of the dogs and their closure. And that's the most I can tell you.
There are some people wondering if those dogs that are coming out at the end of August are currently under any sort of research program, and that's why there's the delay. Is that indeed the case? Can you let us know why the dogs are coming out in phases?
Yes, they are under a research contract. We are not privy to what that is, but we have been assured by Ridglan Farms that it is nothing that is life-altering, painful, anything, that testing is finished and the dogs just need to be monitored for their temperature for the next 6 weeks.
Lori, would you describe Ridglan Farms as agreeable throughout this process? It certainly has played out over the past several months, if you include the demonstrations, is some release of some dogs, but as you mentioned, 475 remained at the facility until this most recent negotiation.
They have worked with us in an amicable way over the past week to get this done, and we're thankful that they are doing the right thing by these dogs.
Ridglan Farms just sent me a statement. It says it agreed to sell 325 additional dogs, but then goes on to say that they are donating some dogs. Are they donating some dogs to you, Lori?
Yes, the last 150 dogs that we pick up in August are being donated.
You're asking the public to refrain from further protests directed at Ridglan Farms, its owners, and the workers there. Why is that important to you?
Because in the end, they did the right thing. They're closing and they're releasing all of these dogs to Big Dog Ranch to safety. You know, at the end of the day, they did come around and do the right thing. So I think the focus needs to be to move on to the other big facilities like Marshall Bioresources in New York, that has over 22,000 beagles that are in there right now for breeding and testing. Ridglan Farms is no longer an issue. Let's move on and close the other ones.
Lori, do you imagine being able to find homes rather quickly for these dogs when it's time for them? We know every dog's got a little bit different of a story and a different schedule, but given the outpouring of support you had with the initial group of dogs that you brought to your location, do you feel like that list will be very easy to work down and you'll find a home for all these dogs?
Yes, we will. We had an outpouring of support across the nation with 7,000 applications to give these dogs loving homes. We have been working through them as they are from all 50 states and securing the best homes for these dogs. Each of the dogs is different. Some have come around really quickly. Don't release them until they're able to walk on a leash, till they're very comfortable with or looking for affection. They've been spayed and neutered, any medical needs met. So far we have adopted out about 200 of the 370 we brought down to Big Dog Ranch. They're leaving daily on via people flying in to pick them up or people driving down. Also, some have been flown out on transports to the Northeast to reputable rescue partners that are also securing homes for these dogs.
Lori, you mentioned Marshall Bioresources. I know that's your next target at this point. Marshall is in New York. It's even bigger than Ridglan Farms in Dane County. I did reach out to Marshall, and they said to meet the highest safety standards for both people and animals, studies involving animals remain indispensable. Claims that animal research is no longer necessary often overlook important scientific and regulatory realities. Lori, I know you've been working with the federal government. You've been talking with RFK Jr. What's the latest there? Any progress?
Yes. The Trump administration is, and RFK Jr., HHS, are all committed to moving into the direction of reducing animal testing and cruelty to animals. RFK Jr. and HHS are making an announcement today stating just that. Also, Secretary Rollins is very committed to more oversight and inspections into these breeding and testing facilities to ensure the welfare of these animals while they're under any kind of experimental testing. I think the whole direction is moving away from animal testing. It has been proven that 92% of these tests don't survive during human trials. There's better ways, there's new science, which will, be at the Arriva, the center, which they are opening now. I think you will see over time, hopefully sooner than later, animal testing come to a close.
That's Lori Simmons, founder and CEO of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, on the major development at Ridglan Farms today. Thanks so much, Lori. We appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing our story.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Greg Matzek here. I want to tell you a success story about Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Our master closet, it was a disaster. Builder-grade racking, nothing stayed folded. Our system was fold, toss, and pray, hoping the stuff would stay on the shelves. Well, that didn't always work. Every time we tried to declutter, felt like we were just moving stuff around. We never really got rid of the mess. Well, thankfully, our friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee have helped us manage our closet. They came up with a beautiful design. Our master closet has now been completely transformed. Out with the clutter, in with organization, and it's been that way since the install a little over 3 months ago. It still looks brand new. Everything is still in its place. That was not the case in our old system. Nothing stayed orderly. Thanks to Katie and Dan, they really listened to what made a lot of sense for us, what was important to us, and then they put our thoughts and their expertise to the design. Nothing cookie cutter about the process, and the quality and support have been outstanding. They are great people. Katie and Dan, the team at Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team. They could do for you what they did for us. Any space in your house that requires an organizational touch, from your pantry to your laundry room, front hall closet, linen closet, master closet. Yep, that was for us. Ask what they can do in your garage. No one better than the team at Inspired Closets Milwaukee.
Aha! My calculations are correct.
What calculations?
I can finally prove that Penny Mustard has more unique options for recliners than any other store in our solar system.
Well, obviously.
Just look at our showrooms.
We clearly have the best recliners in the universe.
Not universe, solar system.
You mean
that an alien life form in an undiscovered galaxy billions of light years away may somehow offer more optionizable recliners than Penny Mustard? It's feasible.
Seriously?
Maybe aliens are like Penny Mustard and also provide articulating headrests, built-in ports, long-lasting motors, extra lumbar support.
Aliens need lumbar support?
Plus, hundreds of fabric and leather options.
Come on. You really think that aliens exist?
And they sell recliners?
Of course. Area 51 isn't storing UFOs. It's a giant alien furniture store.
Come see why Penny Mustard's recliners are out of this world.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what aliens want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads, like select men's Crocs footwear, 25% off. Save $40 on a 20-piece gear wrench ratcheting wrench set, and a 9-gallon Craftsman wet dry vac is on sale, $69.99. Find value on the Gifts Hill value. Blaine's Farm and Fleets. Be an original.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun, extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $450 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit SVDP.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen in Southern California.
Officials with Edwards Air Force Base, northeast of Los Angeles, say a U.S. Air Force B-52 crashed shortly after takeoff. The Air Force spokesperson says emergency personnel are responding. No other information was disclosed. President Trump is in the French Alps for the G7 summit starts, signaling, though, that a peace plan between the U.S. and Iran will be finalized this Friday. The development comes as the president arrives for the summit. ABC's Rachel Scott has details.
This is the first time that these world leaders are meeting since the war in Iran began more than 100 days ago. And this possible news of an agreement could reshape the G7 summit altogether. Look, this war caused a lot of friction and tension with our allies. It disrupted the global economy, and thousands taking to the streets here in Geneva in protest. Some of those altercations turning violent.
The possible end to the war, sending stocks along with oil and gas prices lower today. The regular gallon of gas now dipping below $4. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:31. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the remaining beagles at Ridglan Farms are being released as the controversial Dane County Breeding and Research Facility prepares to shut down. Big Dog Ranch Rescue founder and CEO Lori Simmons says they've reached an agreement to take all 475 dogs remaining at the facility.
This marks a historic victory for the dogs of Ridglan Farms.
More than 300 beagles will be transferred immediately, with the remaining dogs expected to leave in August. Ridglan says it will permanently end its breeding and research operations after the transfers are complete.
Investors are keeping a close eye on the proposed deal between the U.S. and Iran to end the war. Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano.
There's parts of this deal that we don't know, but the big part is how the straits are going to open, and you know they've got to demine that thing, and there's going to have to be a ramp up. Of course, the nuclear piece, how do they extract it? And then the third thing is, and it remains this way, is that Israel is still a wild card. I'm not sure that they're totally on board with this agreement.
Word of the deal is leading to a drop in gas prices. In fact, the nationwide average is now under $4 a gallon for the first time since April.
Milwaukee's downtown food truck curfew remains on hold as a judge considers a legal challenge to the ordinance. The Common Council unanimously approved the measure last month, which would move the downtown food truck closing time from 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. City officials and Milwaukee police argue the change could help reduce violence and late-night gatherings near food truck locations. Alderman Scott Spiker.
There's a bunch of folks hanging out who aren't going in the bars, but are still congregating, creating all sorts of issues. And this was felt to be an attempt to tone that down.
A food truck owner sued the city, claiming the curfew would cause significant financial harm. A judge is expected to decide within the next week whether to issue a formal injunction.
Decision, Wisconsin. Milwaukee will once again be host city for a national political convention.
Wisconsin has been slated to host the 2027 Young Democrats of America National Convention.
That announcement from Young Democrats of Wisconsin Chairman Jake Williams at the state party convention over the weekend. No details yet on when exactly in 2027, but there will be, we know, also an opposing convention in Milwaukee next summer. The Young Republicans National Convention is set for August 20th through the 27th.
Lane restrictions are expected to continue through this week on Highway 100 near the 894 Lincoln Avenue project.
Highway 100 southbound, which is 108th Street, that's reduced from 3 lanes down to 1 lane.
The DOT's Eric Hansen says after this past weekend's pavement and bridge repair work, the lane closure will stick around a bit longer.
So once that is done, there will be a single lane closure that will remain in place for about a week. This is to do some asphalt removal and do some bridge repair work.
As usual, all the work planned is weather dependent. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Associated Bank, we know running a business is tough enough, so our business is making your business banking easy. That's why we make sure it speaks your language. Business and consumer linked accounts? How about all your banking all in one place with one login account? $50 overdraft grace zone? Think of it as a I never said I was a CFO grace zone. And maintenance fee free account? Well, free is always good. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The NBA season is over. Sights turn to next week's NBA draft. ESPN's NBA insider Brian Windhorst believes two teams have emerged as the most serious contenders to acquire Giannis from the Bucks.
He has focused on wanting to be a member of the Miami Heat, and because he's only got 1 year on his contract, he has some control over that. But the Heat and the Bucks have been talking for months and not agreed to a deal. In recent days, we have seen that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest there. It would mean changing the entire structure of the way the Celtics play basketball.
Windhorst is not ruling out the idea Giannis could return to the Bucks for the final season of his contract. Brewers expected to welcome infield prospect Cooper Pratt to the big leagues for Tuesday night's game against the Cleveland Guardians. Pratt pulled off the field during Sunday's game for the Nashville Sounds.
Cooper Pratt is giving out hug after hug in the Sounds dugout. And it looks like we are all finding out together that Cooper Pratt is going to the big leagues.
In April, the Brewers signed Pratt to an 8-year contract worth $50.75 million.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I do want to give you an update here. I told you about that crash earlier on Wisconsin 241 North, also known to many of you as 27th Street. 27th Street at Barnard Avenue. 2 right lanes are closed because of this crash. And I do see an update just coming in from DOT right now. It says this could be another hour yet before it's cleared. So heads up there. The camera, the closest camera, not very close to it. But I did notice from the last time I checked that it looks like the fire truck is out of there. I did see, looks like there are a couple of emergency responders with flashing lights just yet. I can see them just barely by the trees. But DOT is saying this could be another hour yet. We'll keep you posted.
Warm day of the week today with a high of 77 degrees, overnight low 58, a little mix of clouds and sun. Tomorrow's high 73 degrees, chance of rain, better chance for rain on Wednesday, and a high of 71 degrees. Low 70s, your high on Thursday under partly cloudy skies. Sun returns, 72 your high on Friday. 75 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:39. Well, the World Cup is officially underway, and some of the most advanced security measures in the world are being used to protect the general public. Highly sophisticated, multi-layered. These are terms you're hearing from the ground to the air, your computer, your smartphone, relying on federal, state, and local resources and an unprecedented security measures in place for an unprecedented security challenge. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge of the FBI in New York, familiar with such operations. You know, Rich, I'm so curious about how something like this gets off the ground and running. You got 400 local, state, and federal agencies involved. How do you prevent communication breakdowns and some of those jurisdictional turf wars that could sometimes plague mega events like this?
Yeah, it's gotten much better, I think, in these type of events because they know that they have to work together. And so the planning for this actually started probably over a year ago. And if there were any of those jurisdictional fights, the good thing is they probably were taken care of in the first couple of months. And then what they do is they really get down to who's got what level of security and who's going to cover that so that you don't have holes in your security platform, your security strategy. So you have local, you have state, you have federal, and then you have the intelligence community all hopefully working together with your private security at the arenas to make sure that each event is safe.
We've heard about AI-powered cameras, robotic dogs, and giant X-ray trucks. Can you detail some of those? And which of those technologies is actually the biggest game changer here?
I think the AI cameras, it really is a game changer. That and that they use it on drones, not only on like standard cameras that you'll see, around the stadiums, but the drones are up there. And the AI technology is so advanced that it can actually identify potential threats almost before they're becoming a threat, quicker than the human eye, because you're able to put them at a higher level and look down over the crowds. And if there is that potential threat where AI technology is setting off some type of alarm in the command post then can send out its law enforcement to that particular threat immediately and hopefully stop anything before it gets out of control. And I'm talking, whether it's just hooliganism and, drunkenness, fights, that type of thing, or is it something more dramatic, which could be a terrorist threat or something along that line.
Rich, I look at mega events like this. This is multi-country, multi-state, if you want to look at the United States. How do you ensure a level of quality control that is consistent with the plan?
Well, that is, I think, a major issue in that while, the FBI and other federal agencies are in all of these planning and reactive stages, it does go, it is different in every part of the country. But with, the FIFA security, the FBI, and all these other, agencies, there is that continuity between each of the stadiums. And then also, listen, each stadium is different. The Meadowlands is going to be different than, the stadium in LA, the stadiums in Kansas. And so there does have to be some changes to every plan. But I also think that because everyone realizes what type of event this is, all the law enforcement is at their top. They're really at their A game right now to make sure that nothing happens in their arena during this event.
Is there something that fans can do to help security efforts without realizing that they're part of the security plan?
Yeah, well, one is actually, do what security is telling you, what the police tell you. Don't jump the fence because you see a quicker way into the stadium, or don't not take police officers' directions. In other words, if you're going to cause a problem, then they now have to focus on you and not a potential threat. And it will deviate, from what's going on. As we saw in New York, during the Knick after parties, everything that happened, after that was because, people were just doing whatever they wanted. They were going in any direction they wanted. And it started to cause more and more commotion until we started seeing, fights and a bus being lit on fire. Listen, fans have fun, but don't get out of control. That's probably the biggest thing that you can do to help security.
There is a tipping point in that, Rich. I thought when the Milwaukee Bucks won an NBA title in 2021, there were 60,000 people packed in our district here downtown Milwaukee, and it was celebratory in large part. In this instance, it got a little out of control. So how does law enforcement work to distinguish between celebratory crowd celebrating an amazing accomplishment and then a violent riot before it gets out of hand?
Yeah, and that's where I think AI technology is going to help, but it's harder to do in these type of situations because you're not in that controlled environment, in that controlled arena. Listen, there were 68 arrests. It did get out of control in New York, but remember, there were probably hundreds of thousands of people celebrating throughout the 5 boroughs of New York. So while we see the worst that was on the news, most of these celebrations were very calm and were not calm, but were very celebratory as opposed to destructive. But when it does become destructive, as you saw in the videos, law enforcement, NYPD immediately started flooding the area with officers. And while it took them minutes to get there, the technology has helped in that it didn't take them tens of minutes or 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get there. They were there within 2 or 3 minutes, and they were able to quell whatever disturbances there were fairly quickly, as opposed to what would have happened in the past.
We have seen attacks on soft targets around the world. How do security planners protect areas outside the stadium where thousands gather to watch or celebrate when they can't actually be inside?
Yeah, that is the new thing. All these watch parties that we saw in New York, the one at MSG just outside it, over the championship, you saw that it became much more structured from the first game to the last game. And I think what you're starting to see is that law enforcement has seen what happened in New York, and I think you're going to see it around the country now, that they're going to try to control these areas a little bit more, put more law enforcement in, maybe start doing shoots even into these areas that they can identify if anyone has anything dangerous, and using the AI technology, putting the cameras up, putting the drones up, and identifying if something is starting to become a commotion, can we get law enforcement there quicker? And I think that's what you're starting to see more and more. But these celebrative or watch parties are becoming more of the thing, at least, in New York.
So, Rich, if I remember correctly, when Milwaukee hosted the Republican National Convention, there was millions of dollars spent by the federal government on security measures keeping Milwaukee safe with that marquee event. I believe Milwaukee's police department was allowed to keep some of that equipment. Is that a similar situation with these markets that are hosting the World Cup events from Kansas City to Philadelphia, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Los Angeles, and so on?
Yeah, because actually they were bought with the intent, in my opinion, from what I understand, they were bought with the intent for the World Cup, and then for any other major event in that area, they'll be able to continue to use that technology and those items. But the one thing we have to remember is look at how technology has changed over the last 2 years with AI and all the improvements in drones and all that. I'm just afraid that 2 years from now, that's all going to be old hat technology, and that we're going to have even have more and better technology to assist in these events, and which is good, in the sense that the better the technology, I think the safer the environment, because you're able to get law enforcement into those problem areas quicker and stop the threat quicker.
Great insight. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge of the FBI in New York. Rich, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you. Have a great day.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. Got a good deal for you going on right now through the 16th of June. $4.99. You can pick up a Screamin' Sicilian original or thin and crispy pizza for $4.99 at Festival Foods now through the end of the day tomorrow. Check it out. That is a screamin' deal on amazing pizza made by Palermo's. Wisconsin's hometown pizza. 60 years of doing it the right way, making the best tasting frozen pizza you'll find. If it's Screamin' Sicilian, I got a great deal with Palermo's Screamin' Sicilian through the 16th at Festival Foods. If it's Connie's Urban Pie Neighborhood Pizzeria Pizza, the Surfer Boy Pizza is fantastic. There really is a slice for every appetite. Support local, eat great, and make it the answer to the question, what's for dinner tonight? Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week we celebrate summer in Wisconsin, from rock climbing, great climbs across the state of Wisconsin, opportunity there, and golfing in the state of Wisconsin, and water skiing. Sound fun?
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Bob Sorens is the reason Sorens Ford became home of the nice guys.
I used to cut Bob's hair. One time I was running very late.
In the middle of his haircut, Bob says to me, "If you gotta leave now, it's okay. You can cut the other side when you get back from vacation."
109 years later, you can still feel that nice guy attitude from the Sorens family and the entire team at Sorens Ford in Brookfield. An exceptional buying and service experience, Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive, SOERENS.com. Warm day of the week today, high 77 degrees, overnight low 58, a little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds. Tomorrow's high 73 degrees, chance of rain. Better chance of rain on Wednesday. In fact, it looks like rainstorms are likely with a high of 71. 72 the high on Thursday. No rain in the forecast. Sunny and 72 on Friday. It's 75 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 251.
HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now chiming in on the big Ridglan Farms development today. If you're just joining us now, we've been reporting all afternoon and all morning, in fact, on the breaking news at Ridglan Farms, the controversial breeding and research facility in Dane County, Wisconsin, is releasing its remaining beagles. So it's selling another 325 dogs to Big Dog Ranch Rescue, which is one of the groups involved in that initial deal a few months ago. And then the final 150 will be coming out before the end of August. Well, we spoke right before she made this announcement public to the founder and CEO of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, Lori Simmons. And one of the things that she did mention, we asked at the end, I know she had been in talks with RFK Jr., and there were talks with the Trump administration as far as changing laws and our system around research on animals. And we just asked her for an update. Hey, do you have an update on that? And she gave us a tip that there would be an announcement coming today from HHS. And here it is now. Basically, it starts by talking about the developments that we've already told you. But Secretary Kennedy says we are also launching a new NIH office. So that's National Institutes of Health office, to speed the transition away from animal testing and towards modern human-based science. RFK Jr. says we will keep fighting for humane treatment of animals, better science, and accountability. So that new development on top of the breaking news we have here in Wisconsin today. Secretary Kennedy announcing a brand new office to speed the transition away from testing on animals like the beagles at Ridglan Farms.
Yeah, there's a lot in what we were able to uncover today. And initially, we weren't sure exactly how many dogs were left at that facility. Was it 400? Was it 500? Was it 600? There were some conflicting reports, and it turns out 475. And now we've learned also it'll be a phased approach in getting those dogs out of Ridglan Farms. We knew they had to suspend their breeding license as of July 1st, but we didn't know when we started on this story that they would eventually just be kind of shutting down altogether. So,
well, and they didn't know that either.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of reasons for it, but the story has taken a lot of different turns over the last few months.
Well, if you think back, this is probably, 3 months ago now, immediately after the first, what the group calls a mass open rescue. Some people will argue with that, but they call it a mass open rescue. The day after that first one, where a group went in and actually was able to successfully go in to the facility and take out some of the Ridglan dogs, that very next day, we talked with Eric McLeod from Hush Blackwell, and he is the attorney for Ridglan Farms. He made it very clear to us on that day that July 1st did not mean that Ridglan Farms was shutting down, and that it only meant that it could no longer sell dogs to other companies for research. He made that very, very clear. So we know that 3 months ago, this was not the plan. This happened because a lot of people spoke up and were a part of trying to make this happen. Ridglan Farms, you think about it, it's been a company in Dane County for 60 years.
Yeah.
This is a major change.
Yeah, no doubt about that. If you missed any of our conversation, really at any level, at any point with regard to Ridglan Farms, you can check it out on our podcast page at WTMJ.com. Also online at WTMJ.com throughout our stories section. Incredible work here, really. Largely led by Jessica across this entire story in a variety of areas. 2:54 on WTMJ. If you missed any of our program, check out our podcast page, Built by Siding Unlimited, online. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can subscribe. You can find us. We're also on YouTube each and every day, so you can hop into our studio if you'd like, beginning with tomorrow's show. We're happy to have you along for the ride here on Wisconsin's Midday News. We've got no
The
Brewers
stories
baseball.
you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Moving Milwaukee off the We Energies grid and the city creating its own public utility. Say it somehow would be economically feasible for the city that chronically complains it's broke, front the money to build its own energy infrastructure. You want the city that can't figure out how to collect leaves and Christmas trees to be in charge of whether your lights go on or your furnace runs.
Only here on WTMJ. Catch up with the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast on WTMJ.com. Say